Happy birthday, Doak Walker, and Happy New Year to you. Welcome to Dallas, Texas, for the 63rd annual Southwestern Bell Cotton Bowl Classic. It is cold, it is damp, it is foggy. Heck, it's 1999. Take a look at our matchup here this afternoon for the Big 12. The Texas Longhorns from the SEC, the Mississippi State Bulldogs. That's not fog, that's smoke. And coming out of the smoke, the Texas Longhorns. You got to show that guy with no shirt and no muscles. Before you show the weather, 43 degrees. Winds out of the southwest. Texas no longer out of the southwest. It's now the Big 12. 6 to 8 miles per hour. Cold front arriving later. And there's the kickoff team. They're a little juiced up here, Bill.
Hey, that's the whole thing about the college deal. You know, you come out, the guys are holding hands, the camaraderie, the fellowship. I mean, that's what, to me, college football is all about. And it's exemplified here in a classic bowl game, the Cotton Bowl, one of the greatest of all time.
Jeff Walker will kick it away. With Jeremy Jones and Ryan Nunez back for Texas. The booming kick out of the back of the end zone. Over the head of Jeremy Jones, and Texas will start at their own 20. We highlight the freshman, the red-shirted freshman quarterback, Major Applewhite, the #1 rated freshman quarterback in the nation, 14th overall, and he is protected by an experienced and a large offensive line anchored by Russell Gaskamp in the middle. He is the center and a difference maker with this front for Texas. And then you look at the skill positions with Ricky Williams, Ricky Brown in the backfield. The receiving combination, McGarity and Cavill, and the tight end is Derek Lewis. Will he get it on the first play from scrimmage? A little rollout from Major Applewhite, and the throw bounces in incomplete to Wayne McGarity. So they start with play action. They don't give it to Ricky Williams. And it was pretty well covered by this Mississippi State defense up front. Kenwan Smith in the middle. He's only 5'11", 259, if that. And you look at very active and athletic linebackers. They have the linebackers slash safeties flying around in the defensive secondary, ranked #1 in the SEC, anchored by the free safety Eric Daniel, the corners Kendall Robertson and Robert Bean. 2nd down and 10. Blitz coming, and in the backfield, Ricky Williams will take a seat. Edward Smith.
Eddie Smith, that's what this defense does. They show all different kinds of fronts, and what it does is it confuses the offensive line blocking. Here's Eddie Smith. Watch him. He's right in here, and watch him shoot the gap. That's what they do. Everybody has a gap responsibility. Now, the offensive line can't pick up where everybody's coming from all the time. Those two dog positions where Tim Nelson's playing and Ashley Cooper, what that in actuality is 2 more strong safeties.
And now 3rd and 15 as you look at Joe Lee Dunn, the defensive coordinator from Mississippi State. From the shotgun, it's Applewhite. Steps up and a run. Hit and dropped well short of the first down. Knocked down at the 25, 5 yards short. Brought down by John Hilliard.
And you talk about the deferral from Jackie Sherrill on the kickoff, and it worked, Joe. I don't think Texas was expecting it to come out and have that defense flying around from Mississippi State, getting in their face right away. And it works because now it's setting a tempo. And that's what football is all about from the get-go, is setting a tempo. Mississippi showing they've come to play.
Ryan Long will punt it away for Texas with Kevin Prentice, a weapon back deep for Mississippi State. And it is an ugly punt. Prentice on the hop will take it and basically call timeout short of the 45-yard line. And that's where Mississippi State will start with it. And what a terrific start for the Bulldogs as you look at their redshirt freshman about to walk out, Wayne Madkin. He's from Huntsville, Alabama. Had to go through speech lessons to improve the voice. He gets physically ill before every start, but that's no reflection on this offensive line. Eric Allen, the senior, in the middle, a big right guard in Randy Thomas. James Johnson, 1,000-yard back in the backfield for Mississippi State. Blocking for him from Dennis McKinley. You look at Cooper and Prentice, and the tight end, a good one, Reggie Kelly. First down from their own 44. Play action on the other side now as Madkin tries to find somewhere to go with it.
got a mouthpiece.
His hit as he throws, and it's incomplete. A mirror image of how we started on the other end of the field.
Well, that's because you see those 8 men up. When you have strong running games, you bring up the safety, and you have 8 men in the box.
The defensive line for Texas, Sean Rogers and Casey Hampton in the middle. They're big and they're good. Aaron Humphrey is at one end with Cedric Woodard at the other. The linebackers, the senior, the leader on this defense, Dusty Renfro, is right in the middle. You look at the cornerbacks, Tony Holmes and Joe Walker. Quentin Jammer and Donald McCowan in the middle. Dusty Renfro is wearing number 60. Typically, he wears 46. He's doing that in honor of former longtime assistant coach Mike Campbell, former defensive coordinator for Darrell Royal. The toss, this is JJ. James Johnson over the left side, picks his way across the 45, where he's brought down by DeAndre Lewis. He had help from Tyrone Jones, a gain of 4.
You know, you want to work the outside perimeter against this Texas group, get them bunched up inside. And watch number 65, Craig Moore out here. He comes and he seals off this thing. Watch him. The big fella comes in there. He turns it in right there. Cedric Woodard, Dusty Renfro get caught inside, and that's where you want to attack the outside edges of this Texas thing. The strength of their defense is in the middle with Woodard and Casey Hampton.
3 wide receivers in the lineup for Mississippi State, with Kevin Prentice out wide to the right at the top of your screen. And the shotgun, the freshman Madkin throwing short. His receiver had fallen down. That was Cooper, and there is no penalty flag on the play. Madkin wants the flag.
Sure he does.
Had fallen down,
sure does
and they're
want
not going to get the flag.
Well, watch number 7, McGowan. Right here, they switch it up, and it comes across the field. Now, right there, McGowan gets a piece of him, bang, as the ball's in the air.
Should have been a flag. There was no penalty marker. And now Jeff Walker, a very good punter, one of the better punters in the country, will kick it away for Mississippi State.
Lost in the fog.
Hodges Mitchell waiting back, and with a fair catch inside the 15-yard line. We understand it's a packed house. We're going to have to take their word for it. We can't see the upper tank here across the field. Back in a minute.
This is a huge line. We got to see them at some of the functions, and hey, there's some big boys. But you know, Tennessee had some big boys, but these guys look like they're probably a lot bigger than Tennessee, and they look like they're more powerful. So you know, we'll have to just basically use the things we got, our speed and agility and things like that, just beat blocks and get off blocks, and hopefully just slow down Ricky.
Well, there's the numbers right there, 63 pounds per man. And for Kevin Sluter in that Mississippi State front, every offensive line is big compared to those guys.
Yeah, it is a rather small defensive front for Mississippi State, but they're active. As you look at Ricky Williams run into a wall.
Hey, I'm telling you, that Mississippi State, they're coming from every direction. They're hitting the gaps. They're lining up right on the man, and then they're shooting gaps. Every gap is filled, and there's no place to run. Take a look inside. If you're a running back, where are you going to go here? White shirt, white shirt, white shirt, white shirt, and then the tackle. And then, you know, Edward Smith again. Edward Smith loves shooting those gaps and blowing things up in the backfield.
Applewhite will throw on second down. This is Cavill, and he is tripped up immediately. Brought down by Larry Campbell. And I was about to say before this series began for Texas, 3 and out for each side, but the Mississippi State defense did it with a little more flair than on the Texas side.
Because they're aggressive, Joe. I mean, it's a fun defense. There's Joe Lee Dunn. Notice he doesn't have any headsets on. And he's out there.
Or a coat.
That's a defensive coach for you. You know, he's out there with the felt. He wants the feel of the game. After the series is over, they don't talk to somebody upstairs, but he wants to get the feel of what his players are feeling.
Third down and 6 for Major Applewhite in Texas. Another throw out of the backfield. Ricky Williams breaks one tackle, tiptoes down the sideline, and gets the first down. Forced out of bounds by John Hilliard, but it was Ricky Williams bouncing off one tackler to get the first down.
Well, that's the power aspect of Ricky Williams. See the little flare pass? Now, Ashley Cooper comes up and closes on him right away. He's there, bang. But that's the power. That's the thing about Ricky Williams that everybody talks about when they talk about Earl Campbell and what he can do. He's got that physique about him. He's got that strength that tacklers sometimes just bounce right off him.
Gain of 8. First and 10 for their own 25 for Texas. Ricky Williams, big hole left side. He fights his way to the 35. And it looks like he picked up, and he did, another Texas first down.
And like we talked about before, there's more to him than just the power aspect. He has patience back there. He has maneuverability. Watch him come here. Now watch the patience. He waits and waits and waits. It bangs. He sees it, and you see the explosion he has. He gets to use both, and then again he comes back to the power. So it's that tandem of things that make him such a good running back.
Ricky Williams checks out. It's Hodges Mitchell in the backfield for Texas now behind Major Applewhite, and he gets the toss running right. From the backside, a big hit put on. And that was Tim Nelson, who came down from the backside and closed that play in a hurry.
Well, you know, we talked about the dogs, and then this is one of the dogs, Tim Nelson. Now, why are you talking about dog? Watch him come from over here. Now, this is dog because the play is going that way. And dogs never quit. Look at him, keeps coming. He flattens down the line, and boom, blows the whole thing up. And these dogs, like I said, are actually a hybrid linebacker, strong safety, but more along the weight class of a strong safety.
A gain of only 1, 2nd down and 9. Applewhite to Ricky Williams. Out of the backfield, what a catch, and then
What a play.
what a play by Nelson again.
Yeah, I mean, there's Nelson again, the dog guy, 2 plays in a row, and he's showing the other dog guy, Ashley Cooper, how you have to handle it, because he's out there. Remember, you got Ashley Cooper, they ran over. He's the other dog position. Now here comes Nelson, and he's out there on the little flare pass. You've got to stay with him and wrap up, and when you start sliding out, make sure you grab those legs. That's the whole thing. See that arm? That arm's around his legs. You take his legs away. That's the thing.
3rd down and 8, and 4 wide receivers check in for Texas. Mississippi State bringing the blitz. Quick throw and incomplete to Nunez, and there were 4 or 5 Mississippi State defenders in the face of Major Applewhite. Penalty flag on the play.
You know, they said they wanted to come after Major Applewhite. They wanted to cause some problems with him, create some indecision in his decision making, and that's what they're doing.
And they came a little too quickly.
Campbell comes in there up on the line. Watch him come up here in the middle. There's Campbell, and his head's probably over the neutral zone right there. You saw him try to freeze it up, but look at the indecision in the offensive line. You come up there, and they have their play called, and they've got their responsibility. Then all of a sudden, different bodies start shifting around. And then they start thinking, well, I got this, do I have that, or do I have that? Where are they going? And when you're an offensive lineman and you start thinking about where are they going, that's when you're in trouble.
3rd down and 3 now as Texas gets another crack at the first down, and Major Applewhite will change the play at the line. And hand to Ricky Williams. Bouncing off one tackler, fighting toward the first down, and he's brought down short. They needed 3. He got 2.5 as Cornell Menifee, along with Nelson again there to help bring him down.
Swarming. Swarming is the term you'd have to use for this defense. Watch the white jerseys and watch the flow. They're beat, they backdoor, and then they converge. They don't fight through the blocks because up front they're not big enough and powerful enough to do it. They backdoor and then they converge, and everybody's there around the ball.
Ryan Long will punt it away. Kevin Prentice. They'd like to keep it away from Prentice if they can. Beautiful punt by Long. Prentice with the return. Only 5'8", 150 pounds to the far side of the field. Gets a block, has the sideline. Kevin Prentice forced out of bounds right at the Mississippi State 40. A 44-yard punt, a 28-yard return. This is why they want to keep it away from Prentice. He gives Mississippi State good field position. No score, first quarter. It's 1999. We take a look back at 1963. The Cotton Bowl pitted LSU against Texas. The Tigers featured a platoon system at quarterback, including Lynn Amity, number 11. Amity ran, threw, and kicked his way to the Outstanding Player Award, scoring 7 points, and even recovering a fumble in a 13-0 Tigers win. And he is the offensive coordinator for Lynn Amity, and now is fogged in just next to us somewhere, to the left or right. Believe us, he's up here. 3rd year at Mississippi State. Has fond memories coming back here to the Cotton Bowl. Wayne Matkin and the Mississippi State Bulldogs. James Johnson bouncing outside. Breaks a tackle, gets to the 45. Nice gain on first down. He picked up 7.
You know, you have fog. Maybe that fog's down there more than we see because, see, he doesn't follow his tailback. He wants to cut it back up inside, but he takes it up inside and it's not there. But it is outside. If he had gotten to the outside a little sooner, that thing could have gone for more than it did. He did a nice job of recognizing it, though. And I think with James Johnson, that's their guy. That's the bell cow for this team. As he goes, as goes the team.
2nd down and 3 for Mississippi State. An impressive start for the Bulldogs to this one. James Johnson in the backfield, Aaron Babineau. A loss of 1, 3rd and 4 coming up.
Babineau, 6'1", 215. Watch him right here, and it's just speed. He beats the fullback's block. Here's the fullback leading up there. He flattens down behind the fullback. Now, there's not many outside linebackers that are 215 pounds, but he gets the most out of it with his speed. That's his asset.
Look at the season for Babineau. You look at the game for James Johnson, 3 carries, 10 yards. And a 3rd and 4 for the Bulldogs. Timeout called for by Madkin. Madkin will head to the sidelines, talk to Jackie Sherrill about this. 3rd and 4 when we come back. No score in Dallas. A 3rd and 4 for Mississippi State, down working the Texas sideline is Susie Culver. Susie?
Joe, this is about the only seconds of peace that the Texas offensive line has gotten. Their coach, Tim Nunez, has been trying to make adjustments. They've seen lots of different things from this MSUD that they did not expect.
I think the biggest thing is the speed. I don't think they realize how fast those guys were. You know, you get the big offensive line, they like to maul people. You have the Heisman Trophy running back, and you think you can just lean on people, and all of a sudden you get an undersized defense and start shooting gaps and flying around. Makes you think twice about everything. Then it's really a problem.
3rd down and 4 for the Bulldogs, just shy of their own 45.
Out of time.
Madkin back to put it up, has the far side of the field if he wishes. Fighting for the 1st down and getting it inside Texas territory, brought down by Donald McCowan.
You know, Joe, he talked about Madkin. He talked about Madkin and his voice and his coaching. He had to go through with a professor. There's Prentice. And that's the guy he likes to go to downfield. He looked for him and you see the coverage. There's McGowan, Tony McGowan on him, and he's covered, so he takes it out the back door. But you talked about his voice. He's a young guy, and he's got a real high voice. And Jackie Sherrill got him with a speech coach, you know, to get a little bass in his voice, so when he gets in that huddle, he can command respect from the older guys.
1st down, 10.
Well, they just picked up 8 to get respect and a 1st down inside Texas territory as he gives to James Johnson. Cutting it back to the near side of the field as a 1st down brought down by McCowan at the Texas 35. And here comes Mississippi State marching down the field.
Well, you made the call, Joe. Cut back. Well, he cut it back, and that's what he did. He starts this thing flowing to the left, over here. Now watch all the defenders. They're over here, and then he comes out the back door. And when you're off balance and you're changing direction, see the defenders, they start left and they start right, and their bodies are all off balance, and they can't make the adjustment to slow him down when he has a full head of steam.
James Johnson, who has been bothered down the stretch by groin injuries and a tender left shoulder. Off to a good start here in the 1st quarter of the Cotton Bowl. Madkin play action down the middle of the field. That's Love, and it's a little too far.
Love and long.
Love and long. A little hurdle at the end and a wet track here at the Cotton Bowl.
You know, the first shot deep downfield. Jackie Sherrill called Kelvin Love his best athlete on the team. And it's his speed, and there he is on Joe Walker, and you just saw him take him deep, and that ball was just a little overthrown, and you get antsy. You know, you cross the 50-yard line, you have your running game going, and you take a shot, and the young redshirt freshman quarterback wants to go up top. He sees he has the play beat. Just a little too anxious.
And so far 0 for 3 for Madkin. A toss on 2nd down. James Johnson has the far side of the field. Penalty flag on the play as Johnson is brought down at the 25 by McCowan.
Well, that's going to be a flag on Anthony Kapp, number 78, the right offensive tackle. He got up on the linebacker and just pulled him down.
There is a flag down on the play.
A gain of 9 on the play, but it looks like it will come back. And it will, as the referee Dan Blum talks to Dusty Renfro. No decision to be made here. You got to push him back. They just picked up 9.
Well, that's the defense. Isn't that the defense? Push him back, shove him back, way back. Yeah. That's the old college fight song.
10 yards.
cheer, the college cheer. And you got the yell squad.
Yeah, the pom-poms away. Just for
they're out. The pom-poms are out. The bell cows are out. The crimson, the burnt orange. There's TD, Tony Dorsett.
Yeah, we're inbounds. I was over there.
He was at the luncheon yesterday and has had a nice relationship with Ricky Williams, the man who broke his all-time collegiate rushing record.
76. That record stood for a ton of years, and there's a lot of great backs that came out between 76 and now. Tell you what kind of back that both these two guys are.
Second down and 22. Madkin thinking about running, floats it, had a man wide open. Kevin Cooper overthrown, and he had no one around him.
Yeah, well, you see what happens is when you have a quarterback like Madkin who picked up the first down before on scrambling, and he steps out of the pocket. When he steps out of the pocket, then see your defenders start coming up, see him coming up, and then you leave the tight end alone out here. And again, Madkin had an open receiver, and the youngsters right now is just a little too anxious. And hey, that happens with quarterbacks. You know, it comes to mind Brett Favre early in his pro career. Brett, you know, in the first quarter of games when he had his guys, he'd always throw high or throw over their heads, and he just needs to settle down. And see, Johnson just hit him. He says, hit him in the head, settle down. It's there.
Third down and 22 now. Madkin does have time, completes his first pass of the game to Prentice, but he is brought down way short of the first down at the Texas 39, a gain of 8. Dusty Renfro, the middle linebacker, was out there to make the stop.
Number 60.
Prentice walks off a bit banged up, as now it's fourth down for Mississippi State.
Dusty Renfro on the defensive work.
Okay, now here you go. Here's what we have. Now watch what they have here. They keep their offense out there. Now watch what they're going to do. This is like the offense, but it's a punt because it can be an option. Matt Wyatt comes in at quarterback. See Matt Wyatt, number 7, and he goes back here. Now he's going to have the option to punt, pass, or run.
It's away, it's away, it's away.
Let me see what it does. You have to keep your defense out there, and then you get them down like that. That's what that thing does, because you have to keep the #1 defense on the field and not your punt return team.
Have you ever seen a backup quarterback who didn't get in to throw the ball that jacked up? Texas takes over at their own 3. Jackie Sherrill called Kevin Prentice pound for pound the best athlete on the field today. Well, they may have lost him for a while after this play.
In the nation, he said. He said this little guy, and there you see, if you're looking on his, you got to sit on both shoulders. And you push both shoulders together. You squeeze him, the little guy.
Popped him.
Yeah, it popped him on both sides, and they're looking at his wrist, his arm, his shoulder.
That is a significant injury for Mississippi State. Blitz coming. Wow. Menifee gets a hand on Ricky Williams in the backfield. Ricky breaks it out across the 15 for a Texas first down.
Cornell Menifee is sick right now. You know, you get a shot in the backfield, nearly a safety on the Heisman Trophy winner in a big bowl matchup like this in front of the world. Watch. There he is right there, and he's got the wrap up. And then there's the power. You've got to make sure you get a piece of his legs when you're going down to the ground. Otherwise, you'll just slide right down his body. And so far, it's true to form. It's the power in his structure that if you don't bring him down to the ground, if you just slide down and don't wrap those legs up, he's going to break it, and he's going to pick up a lot of yards off it.
First and 10 after a gain of 14. Williams has 22 yards in this first quarter. Quick throw, and Cavill can't hang on. Tight throw, and Applewhite put it right in there, and Cavill could not make the connection. You know, you're talking about a freshman as you watch Kevin Prentice walk off. A freshman in Major Applewhite, who's not your typical freshman. From an early age, he and his father made the decision that he was going to be a collegiate quarterback. And he went to, and the jury's out on this, anywhere from 19 to 20 to 26 quarterback camps as he was growing through high school. And he comes in a very polished redshirt freshman. Ricky Williams gets met at the 20. He fell forward for a gain of 2, but hit hard that time by Barron Simpson. Let's take you down to the sideline, working the Mississippi State side. Ron Pitts.
Yeah, Joe, Kevin Prentice came to the sideline in excruciating pain, hit the ground. He hurt his right elbow. They took his pads off. They're going to take him in for an x-ray right now. We'll let you know more when we know more. Back up to you, Joe.
All right, Ron, thank you. A gain of 3 by Ricky Williams brings up a 3rd down and 7. Drive started back at the Texas 3. Blitz coming, and Mississippi State came across the line too quickly.
Oh, you talk about the experience of Applewhite and that he's no ordinary freshman, and that is the case. There's Ellis Wims, sophomore, pulled off sides by Applewhite. I mean, it was Applewhite in the hard count and his experience, and you said he's no ordinary freshman. He is.
5-yard penalty.
He is well schooled in mechanics. Going to all those camps, he has that poise about him. He's been around it, so he knows. Now watch these guys. These guys start jumping up in here, here, and then the hard count and draws Ellis Wims.
That was Wims, and instead of 3rd and 7, it's 3rd and 2. Second offside penalty on the Mississippi State defense here in this first quarter. Coming up on 3.5 minutes left to play, no score, and Ricky Williams over the left side. Knocked down near the first down marker, hit by Ellis Wims, who just drew the penalty.
Well, you know,
and we'll see where they marked it.
The big guys up front are starting to sustain a little bit now.
It's a first down for Texas as Williams got it by half a yard.
Roger Rachel right here, big 72. He gets up on the linebacker there. Now, when you get a hold of those speedy guys and get engulfed, that's the thing, sustaining blocks. Now, on the other side, Mississippi State's trying to get off. Watch 72 right here. And watch him come up. Bang, Barron Simpson right there. And he gets a piece of them, enough of them to engulf them to get that 1 or 2 yards they need for the first down.
They got a couple, got a first down. Mississippi State showing it again, and the give off the right side. This is the fullback, Ricky Brown.
That's a rare carry.
Ricky Brown got the ball, brought down by Bert Kesey, picked up 8, and you're looking at a young man, a junior, who had only 10 carries during the regular season.
And they give him a bone every now and then, but you see this right here. There's Williams outside as a decoy. Now, they hit it up inside. Now, you can make a play off that where you fake the belly again and then turn around and pitch to the outside. So you're inviting the outside linebacker in to the fullback.
2nd down and 2. Over the left side, Ricky Williams will get the edge, get the first down, knocked out of bounds across the Texas 40. And you talked about the power already. Now you look at the 4.55 40 speed as he got the corner and just blew past the outside linebacker.
Yeah, and I think all those things combined, and that's what you get. You get all those records. You get the Heisman Trophy. You get the 75 touchdowns. You get, you know, all the things, all those 200 yards, 11 200-yard games, #1. And with the speed, the power, and the maneuverability of this guy, and that's what makes him so lethal to a defense.
But you're also looking at a guy who's a bit worn out. I mean, we sat down with him, and he just looked tired and admitted that he was worn out. Looking forward to going to the Hula Bowl and Hawaii just to catch a break. I mean, this is, well, rock star stardom for this guy.
Well, Joe Lee Dunn, the defensive coordinator for Mississippi State, and the defenders for Mississippi State sure hope he's tired.
First down for Texas. Blitz coming. Play action pass. Applewhite
Ball's away.
down the middle of the field. Looking for McGarity. Caught it. Touchdown, Texas. Wayne McGarity, who has suffered three devastating knee injuries, worked his way back every time. The senior gets the first points of this Cotton Bowl. And now for the extra point, Stockton knocks it through.
Wayne McGarity just outruns the coverage. Now, first thing, there's good protection up front here. Look at the time he has, and then it's just downfield. And what you have there actually is Kendall Robertson had pretty good coverage, but the safety in the middle of the field never came over. See, Robertson, he knows he has inside help, but look, there's no inside help back there. He's playing catch-up. That's Eric Daniel.
That capped a 97-yard drive.
Eric Daniel, what he saw, he tried to jump the underneath when he saw Derek Lewis, number 82, crossing the field, and he stepped up to try to cover him, and left his corner in a bind. And with Wayne McGarity, his determination, he's going to find a way. You give him a chance like that, he'll find a way. As you talked about, Joe, 3 reconstructive knee surgeries. That's not just 3 knee operations. They're total reconstruction. And as a football player, you have those kind of injuries. You know, one of them is tough to battle through. You have 3, and that's really saying something about anybody that comes back and has a determination to fight through those things.
And really a charming young man who plays for pride and plays to make his mother, his mom, Demita, back in San Antonio proud, his grandma, his grandpa, and he has been rewarded for a lot of hard work. Worked his way back in, was unhealthy during spring football, and here he is getting the first points of the 63rd annual Southwestern Bell Cotton Bowl.
You know, captain of the team, first ever 1,000-yard receiver.
Big Prather is back now, replacing Prentice. And Prather will take it from just outside the Mississippi State 5 and slide down as he crossed the 15, brought down at the 18-yard line. What a story, Wayne McGarity, from his mouth, coming back from the knee injuries.
When you're out there and you're by yourself out there rehabbing, you know, you're with the doctors, all the trainers, you know you're working hard, but the people, they just say, oh, he won't be back next year, he won't be the same player. So you take that as a challenge, you know, and for me, each time it happened to me, I took it as even more of a challenge because I knew people weren't going to think I was going to come back and be the same player.
The 59-yard touchdown catch, again capping a 97-yard drive. Now a first down for Wayne Madkin in Mississippi State. Babineau. Aaron Babineau runs into James Johnson in the Bulldog backfield.
Babineau, I talked about him before, and his asset is his speed, number 38. What he does is he avoids the block of the fullback. Watch the fullback. Here's Babineau, and the fullback, McKinney, tries to block him. Watch him, steps around him. He never sees him. That's that speed. McKinley went to where Babineau was supposed to be, but with his speed, Babineau wasn't there.
A loss of 3, second down and 13. Winding down the first quarter here in Dallas. Toss to James Johnson running left. Cutting upfield, picking up a first down as he's knocked out of bounds near the Mississippi State 30. A gain of 14, forced out by Quentin Jammer.
You know, I asked James Johnson, you know, I said, you know, the Heisman Trophy winner on the other side of the field. You know, heck, if I'm out there playing, I'm thinking, I want to showcase my stuff. I mean, you've heard so much about him. Watch what he does here. Watch the hesitation. He waits, and then he sees it and it explodes. I mean, he has some nice stuff about him, too.
As you look at his career highlights, only 2 seasons at Mississippi State. He's a JUCO transfer.
You know, he said, Joe, hey, if I'm out there on defense, then, you know, it's a battle against me, against Ricky Williams, but I'm not out there on defense. But, you know, heck, I'd like to think, I always know that when I played the Raiders, Howie Long was over there on the other sidelines, and I wanted to perform to those standards. And I think anybody wants to do that.
On first down, play action, Madkin throws to the sideline, and he's picked off Joe Walker. Interception for Texas, and they have it inside the Mississippi State 40. And a nightmarish start for young Wayne Madkin here in the Cotton Bowl.
You know, we talked about the quarterbacks. Watch him right here. Throws the out, but he doesn't throw it out. He needed to throw it over there. And we talked about the young quarterback and quarterbacks, Applewhite and, of course, Madkin. And I think the game, as we talked about, was going to come down, not between the 2 great running backs, but which quarterback is going to play better, because you have to make those throws.
Wayne Madkin has started 1 for 6, gets a belt at the end of that play just to add a little injury to insult. He's thrown for only 8 yards, now an interception. Applewhite with the right back up top. Throw to the far sideline, and it's nearly picked off by Kendall Robertson.
Now, Robertson in his own right. Robertson, in his career at Mississippi State, has only given up 1 touchdown in his entire career, and that was against Hines Wards of Georgia a year ago. He's a pretty good cornerback. I mean, if you had a catalog of corners and said you probably wouldn't pick him just looking at his body, but he's a pretty good cover guy.
Applewhite disappointed with the throw. A little too much on it. These corners will be tested as Mississippi State stacks up in the middle to try to slow down Ricky Williams. There is Williams.
That's the thing,
and
Joe.
there he is to the 35 to bring up a 3rd down.
See, that's the thing. Now, what Texas is doing is they're changing the structure of Mississippi State's defense. You go deep and you soften them up a little bit. Now you have everybody thinking a little bit. And then you come back and you open up the run, and there it was. You know, you get 4 or 5 yards when they weren't getting those 4 or 5 yards before, because everybody's just coming hell-bent for election right up the gut.
Moving into the wind inside the Mississippi State 35. It's a 3rd down and 6 for Applewhite and the Longhorns. Applewhite puts it up and overthrows McGarity by plenty. And now with 19 seconds left, and the fact that Texas is working into the wind, a bit of a decision here.
Kenwan Smith hopping off the field, and in comes Bert Keys, 50, his replacement. And that's a guy, the nose tackle. We talked about those small linemen. He's 5'11", 235. Now, how many nose tackles can you ever think of for 5'11", 235 pounds? This kid's a battler, though. I mean, he gets after centers that are 320 pounds plus, and he uses his quickness and his arms to shoot the gaps.
So Smith down on the bench. Texas does bring in their place kicker, Chris Stockton, but he's in punt formation. He will try to pooch it down near the Mississippi State goal line, and before the play, flags and whistles. Pretty good effort there, but it won't count. We'll check the flag. Again, Dan Blum is our referee. And now Jackie Sherrill wants an explanation as to exactly what just happened.
Well, the flag was thrown by the field judge all the way in the back.
Dead ball. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 4th down.
So a delay of game call against Texas. The play clock is apparently malfunctioning.
That's what Jackie
cost
was
him 5
pointing at
yards
down on the field.
There's a look at the play clock from the field. Up in the fog as Stockton punts it again. Aiming for that goal line. The fair catch called for and taken on the 5-yard line by Anthony Derricks. Derricks not usually back there. Prentice typically is, but he's injured, and Derricks makes a bad decision.
He didn't know what to do. He should have let that go and let that roll into the end zone and then come back out at the 20.
We'll tell you to log on to foxsports.com and take part in the Ask the Teams question, brought to you by Southwestern Bell Internet Services. That's on the internet at foxsports.com. A 34-yard punt. We take you back down to the Mississippi State side and Ron Pitts.
Yeah, nose guard Kenwan Smith hurt the right ankle. He's also going in for an X-ray, Joe. I'll send it back up to you when I know some more.
All right, Ron. From their own 5. And the handoff to James Johnson running left. He meets the cornerback Joe Walker, who with help throws him backward after a gain of just 2. That will be the final play of the first quarter here at the Cotton Bowl. The score, Texas 7, Mississippi State nothing. We'll continue here in Dallas after these words. Welcome back, folks, to the Cotton Bowl, better known as the house that Doak built. They have his number 37 painted in 2 different spots on the field here at the Cotton Bowl. Say that Walker was the Michael Jordan of his day would definitely not be an overstatement. He was at the top of his game as a player, and in the public eye he was huge, a wonderful person, gracing the covers of numerous magazines. We mentioned that this stadium had to be expanded 2 different times to accommodate his popularity. You look at Ricky Williams, who forged a friendship with Doak Walker. Doak Walker, who passed away this past year during the fall after a tragic skiing accident, was actually in the hospital on the phone when he was inducted into the Cotton Bowl Hall of Fame. And he is very much in the mind of Ricky Williams here this afternoon. The toss to the right side. James Johnson has the first down and breaks into the open field. Babineau trips him up to save the touchdown. Wow. A 36-yard pickup, and exactly what the Bulldogs needed from James Johnson.
Look at the guys up front, Cap, Thomas, Allen. Watch this here. Here's the block right there that sets the whole thing up. They get Humphreys turned around right here. Look at that seam. Then it's just speed, and so much speed, and then we carry our guy again. They get that wall out there, and there's some pretty good offensive linemen. Randy Thomas is probably going to be a first, second-round draft pick. Anthony Cap, number 78, the tackle, and Reggie Kelly's going to be a high draft choice as well, the tight end. I got that block.
On first down, this is a give to one of the backup running backs, Chris Rainey. He tiptoes for a yard and a half, maybe two, to the 45-yard line. Quentin Jammer brought him down after a gain of 2. If you've just joined us, the defenses both starred early. And then we saw a beautiful completion for Texas from Major Applewhite to Wayne McGarity, a 59-yard touchdown throw for the first points of the day. A punt right at the end of the first quarter by Texas, and now here comes Mississippi State, thanks in large part to a 36-yard run moments ago from James Johnson. Down by 7. Second down and 8. McGarity throws, and the pass is caught by Lahisha Grant. That's only his second catch of the entire season. He had one during the regular year, and now here in the Cotton Bowl, he picks up a first down for the Bulldogs.
What you have there is somebody was over on the sidelines talking to this youngster right here. Talking to him and saying, look, settle down. Take what's there. Just relax. It's a big game, but the plays are there. Just make them.
First down and 10 after the gain of 12 on the completion to Grant. James Johnson right up the middle and not much. Who was right in the middle? Dusty Renfro. Let's go back down to Ron Pitts for a Kevin Prentice update. Ron.
Joe, I just talked to Kevin Prentice. He's in a lot of pain, could hardly keep his head up. He said he would be reevaluated at halftime. I asked him if he thought he could go. He said he would try to go, but he's in an awful lot of pain. Back up to you, Joe.
All right, Ron, and that is a major loss. Probably you would have to consider, outside of James Johnson, the #1 weapon for Mississippi State.
Well, he's their downfield threat, and you take away that downfield threat, and then you can stack the guys in the box for Johnson.
Second down and 8. Madkin airs it out, has a man Grant, and it's broken up by Joe Walker. What a play. That had 6 written all over it.
Nice play by Walker, the young sophomore. You know, he missed all of spring practice, Walker. See him turn around, and then he keeps his feet and closes on the ball, playing the ball. He missed all of spring practice. He's just a young guy, and only a sophomore. When you miss your spring practice, you're lacking in technique. And this month they've had off from their last game till now, that's what they worked with Joe Walker on. All his technique as a corner. And as Ronnie Pitts will tell you, it's all in the footwork.
Now third down and 8. Blitz coming. Mississippi State trying to dump it off, and that play is broken up by Aaron Humphrey. Trying to set up a screen to James Johnson, and Humphrey was there to knock it away.
And if Humphrey wasn't there to knock it away, that thing was gone. Because most of the defenders for Texas were in the backfield. Watch all the push. Everybody's upfield. Humphrey's actually looking inside, and then he reacts to the ball late. But see, all the orange are up back in the backfield back there. See them? And everybody down here is blocked.
You look at Aaron Humphrey from Lubbock, Texas. And now again, it's Matt Wyatt, one of the backup quarterbacks, backing up to punt.
It's away, it's away.
Wyatt with the effort and the fair catch called for by Hodges Mitchell. Texas will have the ball resting at their own 13. They have a 7-point lead. Second quarter, Cotton Bowl. Folks, we take a look back at 1969. Tennessee facing Texas in the 1969 Cotton Bowl Classic. Texas head coach Darrell Royal unveiled the wishbone to the nation that year. Now, New Year's Day quarterback James Strait ran the offense to perfection. Fullback option to Steve Worcester provided the first score, and then it was the pitch to Chris Gilbert. Texas rolled up 279 rushing yards that day in a 36-13 victory. We will hear more about Darrell Royal at halftime with Susie Colbert as Ricky Williams tries the right side, gets to the 15, and that is all. He was knocked down by Kevin Sluter, a gain of only 2.
Yeah, and this year's offense for Texas is the best offense in Texas history since 1969. And I think a lot of that has to do with Applewhite. Like we talked about earlier, last year Texas team had Ricky Williams. They didn't have Applewhite. And you have 9 straight 200-yard passing games in there, plus all those yards that Ricky Williams piles up. You can see why that offense is so good.
Some wonder what it will be like next year, though, when some of the secondary and opposing defenses has help in stopping the pass as opposed to focusing on Ricky Williams in the run. This is Ricky Williams on the pass, where he is met and dropped by Tim Nelson. A nice play, a gain of only 4, where it's now 3rd and 4. There's Kenwan Smith and his right ankle with a pack of ice on that ankle, and that's the man who anchors the front of the defense right in the middle for Mississippi State.
Yeah, and that's a tough thing to do. You know, you get your guy out of there that's really your fire plug that helps blow things up and creates the problems for the offensive line.
Texas has started 4 of their drives so far in this game at their own 20 or worse, including this one. 3rd down and 4. Over the middle, a first down catch by the tight end Derek Lewis. Barron Simpson made the stop, a gain of 11.
Pass complete to Derek
You know,
Lewis.
we talked about Kenwan Smith being out. Watch the middle. There's no push right in the middle right here. And there's that passing lane, and that's where Smith would be. And that's where he gets that push. See, watch right here, and there's no push, and you get the middle. See that middle? Look at that passing lane right there. And that's where Smith would be, and that's where he's effective. He uses that leverage of his small body and his speed to get past the defender.
First down and 10 for Texas. They lead by 7. Ricky Williams over the right side. He is met by Bert Keys, and as he falls forward, he gains 2.
And that was Keys. Again, 50, who was in there. And sometimes, you know, you luck into some things. You're out there and you're playing against that big, huge offensive line and a Heisman Trophy running back. Take a look at the tight end there.
So now 2nd down and 8. Pass is complete. Cavill is tripped up. Kwame Cavill had a wide open field in front of him until John Hilliard tripped him up. And with Cavill's speed, that may have been a touchdown saving trip.
Just catches that ankle. That's what they term a shoelace tackle.
You got it. You know, the shoelaces are not exposed because of the tape.
What's a tape tackle?
It's a tape tackle. And now a first down for Texas as they continue to, after starting pinned near their own end zone, move the ball down the field. That's Nunez in motion as Applewhite is hit as he throws incomplete. The tight end Derek Lewis, the intended receiver. 9:55 remaining here in the first half of this 63rd annual Southwestern Bell Cotton Bowl Classic. Take a look at our game summary brought to you by Southwestern Bell Data Network Services. So far, McGarity, the 59-yard touchdown catch. Ricky Williams has 41 yards on the ground, and James Johnson 73 yards, including one 36-yard scamper. But no points for the Bulldogs. Delayed handoff, Ricky Williams tripped, falls forward, gets to the 47, a gain of 5. It's now 3rd and 5.
Yeah, and then that passing game, or at least the attempts downfield by Applewhite, have softened up the pressure of the Mississippi State Bulldogs defense. And they're not coming at the rate they were coming before. They opened up the game. They were coming on run. They were coming on pass. It didn't matter. They were shooting gaps and trying to blow things up, leaving man coverage outside. Now they've become a little bit timid. When you take those shots downfield, that'll soften you up and bring you out of that aggressive mode.
Which is exactly what Texas wants with a weapon like Williams. Time to throw. That pass was tipped just a bit. Sluter was in the face of Applewhite, and it's time for Texas to punt.
And now they have to be selective. And Joe Lee Dunn chose at 3rd and 5 that they're going to come after him, and they did that.
So Texas with a couple of first downs on that drive, but having to punt now is Ryan Long. Will punt it to DeCenzo Miller as we see another imposter, so to speak, for Kevin Prentice, who is out injured, and they are desperately trying to fill those big shoes on a little man. Punter is hit as he punted it away. No flag, and Miller is rocked at the 25-yard line by Michael Beaudoin. A 33-yard punt, just a 5-yard return. Mississippi State's ball down by 7. Well, there you go. The score 7-0 Texas, and the two mascots. Bevo on your left, Bully the Bulldog on your right.
Well, that's Bevo 13. This is Bevo 13. And what do you think these two guys are going to do if Bevo decides he wants to take off? I mean, do you think? Look at what he's got. He's holding it. It's like he's.
This is not the time to show Bevo.
But Bevo, well, he doesn't have to go far when he has to go.
Those two guys are on scholarship. They better be ready. That thing takes off. They're not there for nothing.
Do you need a doormat?
I don't know. It's wet down there. I'll say. 1st and 10 from their own 25.
Bevo had stage fright.
Wayne Madkin, who is just 2 for 9 to start this game, goes to Reggie Kelly, his tight end. A little move to the sideline and a pickup of 9. Reggie Kelly eventually forced out of bounds by Aaron Humphrey. Let's take it down to the Texas sideline and Susie Colbert.
Joe, Dusty Renfro, number 60, middle linebacker, is a senior. He is the defensive leader. He is wearing 60 today instead of his usual number, 46, in honor of former defensive coordinator Mike Campbell, who recently passed away. 60 because it represents the best at the linebacker position.
They have had some good ones wear number 60 in Texas history. 2nd down and 1 and a first down carry. They give it to the fullback, Dennis McKinley.
Well, that number 60 is worn by Tommy Novus and Britt Hager. Probably the most popular, the most popular number in Texas history, number 60.
The big right guard, Randy Thomas, checks out of the lineup holding that right hand. Who has made headlines here in Dallas for what he ate the other night at the steakhouse.
You talk about impressive. Randy Thomas set a new all-time standard for me. He raised the bar on impressive.
1st down and 10 is James Johnson to the left side. McCowan eventually knocked him down. Babineau helped out on that side, and a gain of 3. He was working on his 8th steak when they kicked him out of the steakhouse.
Well, you may call it work, but for Randy Thomas, it's nothing but pleasure. And Lowry's down here. They get together and they bring their teams in and they let them eat all the steak they want. This big fella ate 8 16-ounce prime ribs, and then they told him he couldn't eat anymore. He was eating his 8th one, and they said, that's it, no more. And he's a legend down in Starkville because all the all-you-can-eat buffets he's not allowed in. They got a picture of him with a cross through it on the windows. You're not allowed in, Randy. You break it. That's impressive to me. You want impressive? That's impressive.
2nd down and 7. Pressure. Babineau. Madkin gets away, throws it away. And good work there by the redshirt freshman quarterback Wayne Madkin to avoid a major loss as Babineau came flying in from the corner.
Now, Babineau makes some stuff happen. You know, we've called his name a bunch today. And it's all relative to one thing, and that's his speed and quickness. I've seen him flying around downfield. He's in the backfield. He's chasing the quarterbacks. He's running down plays from the backside. And then when Johnson was about to break one and take it to the end zone, he comes out of nowhere with the angle and tackles Johnson.
Just 3 out of 11 is Wayne Madkin. He has thrown 1 pick. Only 29 yards to his credit in his first bowl game. 3rd down for Mississippi State. The throw out of the reach.
See, for Mississippi State, that's been the problem. They have the chance to make plays in the passing game, and the quarterback isn't making it.
Matt Butler, the intended receiver. Tony Holmes defending in time for the Bulldogs to punt. Jeff Walker will punt it away for Mississippi State with Hodges Mitchell waiting deep for Texas. Longhorns will get it back. They lead by 7. 7:34 remaining in the first half. Beautiful punt. Beautiful punt. Over the head of Mitchell, and it trickles into the end zone for the touchback. A 60-yard punt from Jeff Walker, but about 3 yards too long. We'll give you our Aflac trivia question. How many Heisman Trophy winners have played in the Cotton Bowl in the same season they won the award? We'll give you the answer when we come back. Welcome back to Dallas, Texas. Once again, today's Aflac trivia question is, how many Heisman Trophy winners have played in the Cotton Bowl in the same season they won the award? The answer, 7. We start Doak Walker. We move to Roger Staubach. 1963, Earl Campbell. 1977. Doug Flutie, who now is leading the Buffalo Bills. We'll see him this weekend. Bo Jackson, Tim Brown, and of course, Ricky Williams, the 1998 winner.
See, that could be a trick question.
I know, and it's so
say season, because if you said in the same year, there'd be 0, because the Cotton Bowl is always on January 1st. That would be a new year.
You are brilliant. First down for Texas. Applewhite, delayed handoff. Ricky Williams, a lot of open field, breaking tackles, crossing the 35, knocked down at the 39 by Robert Bean.
You know, you watch the game and you see the big running back and you see him make the plays. But watch the unheralded guys. Watch number 44 right here, Ricky Brown. He takes out Barron Simpson, and that opens the whole thing up. Because you have to have guys around you. You're really not any good without help, and that's the block right there. And the lineman downfield, Octavius Bishop, and all of them together. And so, yeah, the team gets involved in the yards, and the team gets involved in that Heisman chase.
1st and 10 from the 39. Applewhite steps up, finds Ricky Williams. He made 18 moves, gets a first down into Mississippi State territory.
Pick your poison. That's the thing when you're a defender. What's he going to give you? Is he going to run you over, or is he going to just jump around you? You have to be very careful when you go up to tackle this guy. And when you get a piece of him, you have to make sure you hang on, because he's got enough in him, as we talked about. Right here, boom, boom, and there's the move. You can't dance with a guy. You have to run through him. When he stops there, don't stop your feet. Go through him, and then just hang on.
Ricky has 65 yards on the ground, 25 through the air, so 90 total yards. Add to it, Ricky Williams inside the 45, brought down by Larry Campbell, knocked down at the 43, a gain of 7. Let's take you down to the Mississippi State sideline and Ron Pitts.
Well, Bill Moss alluded a couple series ago to the fact that Mississippi State may have called off the Dogs, and rightfully so. After they got stung on that big pass play, they're starting to play a little soft. That's why you're starting to see more of Ricky Williams. Their whole thing the last couple series has been just hang in there, hang in there. Now Ricky Williams is starting to get to him. Back up to you, Joe.
All right, Ron, 2nd down and 3 for Texas as they give to the fullback. Ricky Brown, a penalty flag on the play after Brown picked up the first down. Tim Nelson with a tackle for Mississippi State, and we'll check the marker.
I think that's going to be a holding call, and I think they're going to get Russell Gaskamp, the center up front. Right in the middle of things, he pulled down Bert Keys. And Gaskamp was a guy who missed all last year with a back injury. You talk about the success and some of the turnaround on this offense and how good this team's become. I think Gaskamp had a lot to do with it too. He's really solidified that line. He's had a nice season, and here he is. He has a handful of Bert Keys, and then that arm back here. Heck, that's a pretty good block. In the NFL, that's common. That's everyday stuff.
Gaskamp talked about the bad back, and he said the worst part was the rehab, because to rehab a bad back, you have to get into the swimming pool. And he had to get into the Texas swimming pool along with a Texas swim team, and they were all, you know, cut up bodies with wearing Speedos. And he said, here I am walking in just scaring the heck out of everybody around the pool.
But that thing kept him afloat right there. You got the spare tire going, and you jump in the pool with a spare tire, you're not going to sink. That's a good thing.
2nd down and 13. Major Applewhite to throw. That's McGarity. Breaks a tackle, gets the first down. Looking for a second touchdown. McGarity. Touchdown, Texas.
more than one missed tackle on that play. Wayne McGarity, his speed, yards after catch. I mean, heck, how many yards after the catch do you think he has already? He catches the ball in midfield, he's gone.
And what you're also seeing very quietly, along with McGarity and Ricky Williams, is Major Applewhite, a redshirt freshman, step up in a Cotton Bowl and deliver for the Texas Longhorns as Chris Stockton will try to tack on the extra point. Little confusion before the snap as Mississippi State contends that the ball was being moved around before the snap.
Joe, you mentioned Applewhite, and for that part, Madkin too. What an experience for freshmen as a quarterback to come in here and play in the Cotton Bowl. Applewhite is guiding this team, has guided them all year, and I think all those camps he talked about, he went to 19 camps or whatever he went as a prep high school player. Those things are paying off because now he's here, and the game and this crowd and all the things around it aren't above him.
Bad snap, good kick. McGarity's done it again. This one 52 yards from Major Applewhite. And the Longhorns with a 14-point lead.
Here's McGarity down here at the bottom of the screen. And what happens here is Kendall Robertson closes on the tackle. You're going to see this come out right here, and then he's going to stop. He's going to run 5, 6, 7, turn around, and then the missed tackle. And sliding right down him. And we're seeing a lot of that. And it's been raining here all night, and the field's wet, and I think the players of the jerseys and the pants are just soaked. I've seen it on Ricky Williams several times, on Johnson, the running back, several times. The players are wrapping up and just actually sliding right down the body.
Chris Stockton will kick it away for the Longhorns. With Prather and Love back deep. This is Love from the 5. This is what Mississippi State needs. Calvin Love, the kicker. Stockton forced him out of bounds as he crossed the Mississippi State 45, got to the 49-yard line. Just shy of midfield, Calvin Love. Sunday, the road to Super Bowl 33 on Fox begins with a classic NFC matchup. Brett Favre and the Packers head to San Francisco to battle Steve Young, Jerry Rice, and the 49ers. These two bitter rivals square off the NFC wildcard playoffs. Coverage began Sunday at 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific, right here on Fox.
And then you get the whole pregame show before that. And heck, I don't know if there's a better matchup as far as the playoff games go than that game right there.
I would have to agree with that. After a 44-yard kick return from Calvin Love, James Johnson right up the middle. He gets to the Texas 44, picked up 7. And let's go down to Susie Culver. Susie?
Joe, I'm standing right behind McGarity and Cavill, who just teamed up for that touchdown. McGarity said he's having a dream day, and Cavill turned around and said to me, every time they blitz, we're going to make them pay. Back up to you.
Well, he has made him pay. McGarity has. He has just 2 catches, Susie, but one a 59-yard touchdown catch, the other a 52-yard touchdown catch. So 111 yards, and now as Mississippi State lines up, they bring in Matt Wyatt at quarterback. James Johnson the toss. James Johnson breaking tackles and getting down to the Texas 27. Dusty Renfro there to bring him down after a gain of 17. And the Bulldogs are going with Wyatt instead of Madkin.
That's the thing right there is the quarterback Wyatt is in there, and that's because what we've seen out of Madkin. There's a block down there by Cooper on Walker that gets the extra yardage downfield. Renfro on the tackle, but they changed quarterbacks because of the way Madkin has performed. You see the numbers, the interception, but what you don't see there are all the overthrown passes and underthrown passes that could have resulted in big plays and points for the Bulldogs.
A first down carry for James Johnson.
All right.
He is down to the Texas 23. Dusty Renfro again, along with Cedric Woodard. And there's Matt Wyatt this season.
He started 3 games for him.
They just removed him after the 3rd game, game 4, against South Carolina.
Well, you know, when you have a senior coming in and you have that guy that has the poise and the confidence, he's been around it enough to know he's had enough experience playing the position that's the kind of confidence that you need right now today that they weren't getting from Madkin. 2nd down and 6. James Johnson has been busy.
Nice tackle on this near sideline by Quentin Jammer as he brought him down. A pickup of only one. Third down coming up.
There's Jammer right here. Watch him come up and fill. And that's what they're able to do right now. Do you see all the bodies up by the line of scrimmage? When you have your safeties up there in the line of scrimmage, you're not threatened downfield by the passing game. And rightfully so. You've changed quarterbacks, and you lose your #1 receiver in Prentice.
This is the deepest Mississippi State has been inside Texas territory all game. The throw is behind the tight end McCaskey. McCowan was defending, and there's Wyatt missing a wide open big target.
Yeah, and you shouldn't be able to miss Reggie Kelly. Not at 6'5", 250 pounds. McCaskey, rather. He's even bigger, 6'6". And there he is, and he throws the ball behind him, back here instead of over here.
The first throw from Wyatt, an incomplete pass, and now Ryan Hazelwood will try to put points on the board with Rob Morgan, another backup quarterback, holding. This will be a 39-yard try. Hazelwood has the leg and has the field goal. The 39-yard try is good from Hazelwood. 15 of 24 during the regular season. Mississippi State on the board, down by 11. The Bulldogs are on the board. They're down 14-3. We take a look back to 1941. Mississippi State's last major bowl victory came way back in the Orange Bowl in 41. Coach Alan McKean was led by a rock-solid defense anchored by All-American end Buddy Elrod. Elrod accepted the trophy after the 14-7 victory over Georgetown. They're down by 11. Coach Jackie Sherrill trying to pump up the troops. And this Mississippi State kickoff team gets ready behind the leg of Jeff Walker with Jones and Nunez back deep for Texas. Walker, a strong leg, kicks it. This is Jones from inside the 5. Jeremy Jones busting it to the outside, getting to the 36. A 32-yard return from Jeremy Jones. Well, folks, coming up at halftime of this Southwestern Bell Cotton Bowl Classic, JB, Terry, Howie, and Chris will have a preview of Sunday's wild card game between the Packers and the 49ers. We'll have bowl highlights, a look at Texas and legendary head coach Darrell Royal. Plus, we'll see both schools' bands. That's all coming up at halftime.
This is Texas's best starting field position. They've been backed up usually. They started through 20 and they're 13 and they're 3. Went 97 from that 3, but we've got a shorter field if that's possible.
And there's a look at Major Applewhite. We've already talked about the quarterback camps. He went to the Manning quarterback camp, and the coaches there called him Little Peyton. First down for Texas, and the give to Ricky Williams. From the backside, Edward Smith piled on the back of Ricky Williams as he picked up 3.
And Applewhite, you know, 19 years old, and you're talking about the experience that he has, and a lot of upside to this kid. 9 of 15, 160 yards, 2 touchdowns already in his first season, his first big bowl game. 19 years old, and Joe, he looks like he's about 12.
Part of this balanced offense, which has Ricky Williams picking up most of the headlines. Applewhite to put it up. The throw on the slant, and it's behind McGarity. Little post pattern, and the throw behind is Robert Bean was there defending for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, and what they're doing is every time that they see Mississippi State blitzing the line of scrimmage, like Susie was telling us about, they are checking to the slants and the deep balls. Ricky Williams picking up the blitz right there.
And you're looking at the former fullback Ricky Williams with those big calves. Major Applewhite with a blitz coming, throws and completes it to McGarity. And Applewhite calls the timeout with 1:34 remaining in the first half, and he took a shot from Tim Nelson.
You know, that's what we're talking about. You're talking about the composure. The difference in this game has been the quarterback and the play of the quarterbacks. Watch right here. He's in the face of pressure. He knows he's going to take a shot. He stands in there and delivers the ball on the slant, knowing he's going to get hit. And look at it, right on the money, too, right where the ball should be.
So McGarity with his third reception of this first half. Well, we talk about a balanced offense. Let's hear it from Major Applewhite before this game.
But you really can't commit that many people to the run because Wayne and Kwame and Derek Lewis will hurt you. I mean, they'll hurt you, and they've proven that they'll beat you deep. So you have to respect both sides of the coin in our passing game as well as our running game. So, you know, there's really not a whole lot you can do as a defense except just try to, you know, play it straight up and hope that your athletes are better than I think.
Well, he can talk about Kwame and Derek and Wayne, but they can beat you deep, but they can't do a thing with it unless you get the ball to them, and that's what Major has been able to do today.
The 2 touchdown throws to Wayne McGarity, one a 59-yarder, one a 52-yarder. Major Applewhite 10 out of 17 for 172 yards, plus those 2 touchdowns. And we'll keep an eye on McGarity. The ball just inside Mississippi State territory at their 49. 1:36 left. Texas with a ball and 2 timeouts. The throw to Nunez. Trying to set up a screen, and he's brought down by Ashley Cooper behind the line of scrimmage. And the clock continues to run. A loss of 9, 2nd down and 19 for the Longhorns. From the shotgun, Major Applewhite trying to get more points before the end of the half. All day to stand back there, and now to the far sideline, and Ricky Williams led him too much. Really wasn't much there anyway, as Ashley Cooper was out there with Ricky Williams, and now 3rd and 19.
Yeah, good coverage downfield. That time they were in a zone defense, and they sat back there and had everybody covered deep. Applewhite had all the time in the world. The pressure wasn't there, but as the pocket closed, he's forced to get rid of the ball.
So now 3rd and 19. Each side with 2 timeouts remaining, in case you're wondering about Mississippi State getting it back and trying to work it down the field. Applewhite again from the shotgun. Down the middle of the field, wide open, incomplete. Kwame Cavill off his hand. Robert Bean the closest one to him, but Applewhite missed on that one.
Yeah, a little high that time.
So now 54 seconds remaining, and depending on the punt, depending on the return, Mississippi State can be thinking points before the end of the half.
And as you mentioned, Joe, with 2 timeouts left, and they've been fairly exciting in their punt return and kick returning game, but Prentice is out.
The punt from Long just got it away, and DeCenzo Miller
they're going to have
back deep, and there is a penalty flag on the play as DeCenzo Miller fights to the 31, and there is a flag down on the field as Long was run into.
Yeah, you're going to have running into the punter, the kicker here, and that's what the call is. Take a look to the right of your screen right here. The punt's away, and you got to stop. You've got to stop right there.
Another look at the punt by Ryan Long.
George Witta. And if you're wondering how come you didn't even call roughing last time, the difference between the two was the punt snap was on the ground last time. It rolled back to him, and you're able to run into him or hit the punter because he's fielding a ball that was on the ground.
And because it wasn't roughing the kicker and it was running into the kicker, it's just the 5-yard penalty, and because of that, it is declined, and Mississippi State has the ball at their own 31 with 43 seconds remaining and 2 timeouts. Matt Wyatt is at quarterback in the shotgun, again replacing the starter, Wayne Madkin. So despite the penalty flag, Mississippi State has it.
1st down 10 from the 31.
And now Wyatt will try to bring the Bulldogs down the field. That's Cooper. making all kinds of moves, brought down 2 yards short of a first
Matt
down, and a
Wyatt's pass
timeout will be
complete
called
to
for
number 88,
by
Kevin
Mississippi
Cooper.
State. They're left with 1. The clock will stop on
Timeout.
first downs,
Charge
but
to Mississippi
Cooper was
State.
brought down short of it. Now Mississippi State has just 1 timeout remaining.
And that actually cost them about 3 seconds because they were looking upfield to see if they got the first down before they signaled timeout.
So Matt Wyatt over to talk to Jackie Sherrill, and really for the first time since you and I walked into this Cotton Bowl around 8 o'clock this morning, this place is a little quiet right now.
Well, it's getting around concession time.
It is.
You know, and in Texas, the Longhorn fans, they think they've got a nice, comfortable lead, and they're just going to look on before they go to lunch. It is, it's 11:45 down here.
And by the way, all you people at home that are just rolling out of the sack, just getting out of bed and tuning us in, it's about time you start your day and begin 1999. And we're glad that you picked Fox and joined us here at the Cotton Bowl. These guys came early. I'm not sure that they slept.
It's not early. Yeah, it's late. It's actually late for them. See, they stay up all night. When you show up in the rain and the fog and 43 degrees with no shirt and your chest painted on New Year's Day, chances are you're up all night.
The one bit of good news is the fog has lifted from this stadium. As you look at a 2nd and 1 play, a long one for Mississippi State. Wyatt a bit indecisive. Now he has Grant wide open.
Get out
the
of
first down will stop the clock inside the Texas 35. So he did not need to get out of bounds. He just gets the first down, which is good enough. And now with 21 seconds remaining, Mississippi State has it inside the Texas 35.
I went back to the NFL.
You did, just for a moment.
That's
An
exactly
NFL
right.
flash.
First down stops so they can move the chains all the way down in college.
And that allows the team to get set. They start the clock now. As Wyatt throws to the sideline, gets Cooper, and he gets to the first down marker and out of bounds. It's going to stop either way. And now with 10 seconds remaining, we'll see this spot, and it looks like it's a good spot for Mississippi State. Although the referee, Dan Blum, is going to go over and check it and rule it a first down. Just by the nose of the football. A fresh set of downs for Mississippi State, but only 10 seconds remaining. They can take a shot at the end zone if they wish, or something shorter.
Right, you know, if you want 3 points too, don't forget those hash marks. You want that ball in the middle of the field.
First down for Mississippi State. Wyatt spending a lot of time trying to get rid of it, throwing, and incomplete with just 1 second remaining. Wyatt nearly took too long and didn't allow his field goal unit a chance to get out on the field.
You have to manage that clock. He's looking downfield. And they got to call timeout right there because it's a...
Matt Wyatt is hurt and being helped off the field as Matt Butler couldn't make the catch, and we're going to have an officials timeout now as Wyatt is having a difficult time getting over to the sideline.
And you have Rob Morgan left on your depth chart.
And he's out there to hold for this field goal attempt by Brian Hazelwood, who has already hit a 39-yarder.
Now for a right-footed kicker way out here, the college hash marks are so wide. And look at the angle he's lined up at. See his angle he's lined up at as a right-footed kicker? He's got a long ways to go on the left hash, but right-footed kickers like to be on the right hash. Now look, you see the angle here?
So you got to look at the angle. This is a bit into the wind. Wind is blowing from our right to our left. Wyatt will walk off. Take a look at the injury to Matt Wyatt before the kick after Texas just took a timeout.
You know, Humphreys gets a piece of him, comes right down on that back of the ankle.
Not only the ankle, then with that wet turf down there. Almost did the splits, and that groin, I'm sure, was tested. So Aaron Humphrey climbed his back. Wyatt moving around a little better now, and after the timeout by Texas, here comes a 41-yard try from Brian Hazelwood. Mooney will snap it. Morgan will hold it. And Hazelwood will try it eventually.
Texas
Another
took a time.
timeout called for by Texas, and that is their final timeout.
That's what they call putting the kicker on ice. Let him think about it a little bit.
So while he thinks about it, while you think about it, we'll tell you what's coming up at halftime of the Southwestern Bell Cotton Bowl Classic. JB, Terry, Howie, and Chris. We'll have a preview of Sunday's wild card game between the Packers and the 49ers. We'll have bowl highlights, look at Texas and legendary head coach Darrell Royal. Plus, we'll see both schools' bands. That's all coming up at the half. Ricky Williams over on that far sideline contemplating the first half. And also, I'm sure, Susie told us, a young man who grew up dreaming of playing football in college is lining up in the burnt orange, at least with his teammates, for the final time. He will participate in the Hula Bowl, but with this group, this is it. Williams with 75 yards on the ground, 25 through the air, a 100-yard day so far, and now the 41-yard try from Hazelwood. Snap is good, the hold is good, and it's blocked. Blocked by Texas, and that's the way this first half, as the play continues, but that's the way this first half will come to a close. The 41-yard try by Brian Hazelwood is blocked by the Texas Longhorns.
I think it was number 49, Aaron Humphrey, came in there, and he got his hand up and got that push and the penetration. He's going to come right through here. Yep, that's number 49, Aaron Humphrey. There's that hand up, the jump, time that jump, and that's so important. When you can only push so far, then you have to time that jump to get the maximum height. And you can see the ball just hit the top of his hand.
So half of this 63rd annual Southwestern Bell Cotton Bowl is over. And our score, the Texas Longhorns 14, the Mississippi State Bulldogs 3. We'll return to Dallas for halftime. The Southwestern Bell Cotton Bowl Classic after these words from your local Fox station.
All right, thanks a lot, Coach. You're down 14-3, giving up some big plays defensively. What are the adjustments you're going to make?
Well, the adjustments you can't miss for the tackle. They ran the two slants on us, one the post pattern, the free safety, should have made the play, and it's got to be there to make the play. Reverse that, we had some opportunities to make some plays. We ran the post, we didn't make it, but we can't miss tackle. That's the biggest thing.
That's the big thing. Matt Wyatt's in, Madkin's out. What do you expect from him now this second half?
Well, we're going to start Madkin back, and we're going to move the ball and do some things with it.
Okay, what was the reason for pulling Madkin out for that series?
Well, he just didn't play well. You got to have a quarterback that's going to execute and play well. We felt like taking him out, letting him look a little bit.
Okay. All right, Coach, thanks a lot. All right, back to you guys.
All right, Ron, thank you very much. A look at Wayne Madkin, who will get the start in the second half. Our Ask the Teams, sponsored by Southwestern Bell Internet Services. The question, is Ricky Williams a lock to be the first draft pick in the NFL draft? And that's from Kyle Lobner of Woodruff, Wisconsin. And I think it's a good question, but it's almost impossible to answer only because you don't know what juniors are coming out. If Couch doesn't come out, then it's a lock.
Yeah, well, being a lock is a tough thing to say. Now, would I go take him as the first pick? Yeah, I would, because I'd want a running back to get a running game going and build around it and develop a quarterback or bring in a veteran quarterback. But there's so many things out there. And then don't forget, what happens between now and draft days, all those combines, they find all kinds of things wrong with you. And then they don't like this, they don't like that. And some guys go up and some guys go down. And that's the key. So a lock, no, but definitely a top 5 pick.
When you look at the list of teams ready to draft, Cleveland gets that first pick. And there's the question, do you start your franchise with a quarterback in Couch, or do you pick the running back?
If it's me, I go with a running back.
Number 2 is Philadelphia, who, well, they could use a lot. Kicking it off, Texas picking it up, Pig Prather. Pig Prather for Mississippi State. He takes it to the 25. And that's where the Mississippi State Bulldogs will start to begin this second half of the 63rd annual Southwestern Bell Cotton Bowl Classic. Take a look at our first half stats brought to you by Coors Light. And we highlight the passing yards, the combination of Applewhite to McGarity.
Well, that's the difference. And over on the other side, the Bulldogs, see, they don't have any passing yards, and they weren't able to make plays there. And because they can't pass, you see the 1 for 6 on third down conversions. they can't keep the ball on sustained drives and move down the field and score. And that's really been the problem so far for Mississippi State. They can't pass, and Texas can, and that's also the difference on the scoreboard.
14-3 Texas, and the toss to James Johnson. Over the left side, Cedric Woodard brought him down.
Well, what you have there, you watch on the defense. Watch the defensive line up here. See who they got here? They move everybody out. They move Woodard out to tackle right there, number 50, and they bring in 73, Sean Rogers. Now that's the big front. That's the big bodies, because they take J.J. Kelly out because he's only 237 pounds and he's a little bit light. So they bring in Rogers, who's 305, and they slide Woodard out. He's about 280, 290. They slide him out to end. A little bit more beef up front, and they've got the same front again.
Johnson has had a 103-yard day after losing 2, second down and 12. The throw behind his receiver, looking for Matt Butler. And in the pile of players defensively, Quentin Jammer and Donald McCowan, along with Tony Holmes.
Now, I think what you do with Matkin is you bring him back in the game and you settle him down a little bit. They brought him out, you talk to him at halftime, and you try to settle him down. And also, you want more movement out of him. You see they got him rolling out and they're moving that pocket. I think with his speed, you try to use that speed as an asset. And then hope from that there's some blown coverages and he can make the obvious easy pass downfield. Also, I think you come out and use his speed and you run an option at this offense. They're playing a defense. They're playing a lot of man coverage that would take the defensive backs downfield. No support outside.
Third down and 12 for Mississippi State. The throw is nearly picked off. Dusty Renfro got a hand on it and nearly caught it on its way down.
Yeah, I don't think Matkin is seeing the whole field. I think he's overwhelmed by this whole thing. Watch the throw right here. Renfro doesn't have to jump very high to make a heck of a play, and that is a heck of a play for Renfro.
Jeff Walker will punt it away for Mississippi State. Hodges Mitchell waiting deep for the Longhorns. Texas will get it back, up 14-3. Poor punt on a line, and Mitchell makes a couple of moves and is tripped up and brought down at midfield. That punt was nearly blocked. Another collision with the punter, no flag, and Mitchell brings it back to midfield.
That Texas defense stepped up to the occasion. Look at all the guys' heads. And, you know, that's the college thing is you do everything together. You come out for the coin toss together. You hold hands on the sidelines. You shave your heads together. You're in the same dorms. You know, that's college in a nutshell.
Dusty Renfro, who was in the picture, said yesterday at the luncheon, he's an academic All-American. The haircut helps because it lets my brain breathe. So maybe his teammates listen. And here they are showing very strong defense and getting a solid game at worst out of their redshirted freshman quarterback Major Applewhite, who changes the play at the line.
I'll have to shave my head next year.
Here's a give to Ricky Williams over the left side, breaks the tackle of Edward Smith and winds his way to the 46. Brought down by Kendall Robertson, down to Ron Pitts.
All right, Joe, injury report from Mississippi State. Kevin Prentice, he is out, could not bend his elbow. He won't be able to go. Kenwan Smith, he's going to try it here. And Matt Wyatt twisted his hip. Not sure what's going to happen. When we heard Jackie Sherrill say that Matkin would come back in. Just interesting, coming out of the Texas locker room to show you how confident they are. They were chanting, "Whoop, it's on now." Back up to you, Joe.
There's a look at Kenwan Smith. Ron, he is back in the lineup for Mississippi State. Second down and 5 after Williams got 5. Applewhite down the field. McGarity makes the catch inside the 40. Has a Texas first down. Brought down by Robertson.
The pass complete to number 8.
Yeah, Applewhite's having himself a nice game, you know, and we talked about that offense and the balance of the offense. He finds McGarity again. McGarity is really working on Robertson. There's just a quick in, and the thing about it is Applewhite's been under pressure. You know, you can talk about those guys downfield beating and getting open and the things they do, but you've still got to get the ball there. And that's what Applewhite's been able to do.
Both starting receivers out of the lineup, so you expect the run, and you get it with Ricky Williams. Up the middle of the field. Ricky Williams, touchdown, Texas.
He hit a little Heisman there. You see the Heisman?
I saw that.
He gave the Heisman.
A 37-yard touchdown scamper as the Longhorns begin to pull away.
You know, Jackie Sherrill talked when he came out of the tunnel. He told Ron Pitts, he said, hey, we got to tackle. We've missed tackles, and that's the thing. You're in the line of scrimmage, you've got to tackle.
So Ricky Williams gets his first points of this Cotton Bowl. And Chris Stockton tacks on the extra point. Penalty flag right at the end of that play. Ricky Williams into the end zone, and we will check the penalty flag before we take a break here. And there's the Heisman, blocked a bit by
See, that's the thing, too. You can do the Heisman.
He can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, that's it. When you got the Heisman, you can do the Heisman.
Look, when you're just hanging around the apartment and you're bored.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
Well, if you're Ricky Williams, you go get a tongue ring.
That's what he told us.
Personal foul.
A personal foul.
On the kicking team. The penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
At the end of
15 yards.
the extra point, a personal foul on Texas. And you look at his yards right up the gut of that Mississippi State defense. That was it. He was just hanging around bored. So they put a bolt in his tongue. One thing we know, the man can run, and he is the Heisman Trophy winner.
Take a look at our Fox in sync. On the right, you're going to see these two guys right here. They don't get in their gaps. And then the ball's out the gate. See, there's the hole right there. And then downfield, here's Brian White working on Robertson. See that block? And you know, you talk about the running game, you talk about the Heisman Trophy, and I said before, the whole team took pride in getting the Heisman Trophy for Ricky Williams. And it's efforts like that when you see it by the fullback we've seen today, by the offensive lineman, and then you get the second string wide receiver.
Stockton kicks it away with Texas up 21-3. This is Kelvin Love after the penalty. That'll get great field position. What a hit. Oh, what a hit laid on by Watson. We'll tell you again that Sunday, the road to Super Bowl 33 on Fox begins with a classic NFC matchup. Brett Favre and the Packers head to San Francisco to battle Steve Young and the 49ers. These two bitter rivals square off for the NFC wildcard playoffs. Coverage begins Sunday at 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific, right here on Fox.
And watch Watson, number 16. Boom. And, you know, that's when the whole thing gets going, and momentum can swing. And at any level, but at the college level, when the special teams and people start making plays, you saw Texas, they came out, they started slow, and McGarity gave him a spark. And that spark, and then he gave him another spark for a touchdown. And those sparks turn over into the special teams play and the big plays and the effort.
That's DeCenzo Miller down. He did not take that Michael Watson hit, but he is down and being looked at.
I think it happened on a block right here. There's DeCenzo Miller, and he's got his head down, and he gets the block right there. And he walks actually to the near sideline, then falls down.
Ron Pitts telling us from the sideline, dislocated shoulder. And there's Wayne Madkin stays in the lineup and moves it forward, brought down by Humphrey after a gain of 5.
That's the option. That's what we talked about. You speed, you bring in the quarterback. And for Lim Amadei, what he has to do, the offensive coordinator, is be patient, because you're down and you don't have a quarterback that can drop back and throw the ball and hasn't been effective for you. So you have to be patient and stay with some things and create some things and pick and choose when you pass.
2nd down and 5. James Johnson on a delayed handoff. Falls forward, is short of a first down by about 1.5 yards. Got 4 and brought down by Quentin Jammer. It has been a big strike offense for the Texas Longhorns today. As we look at our game summary, brought to you by Southwestern Bell Data Network Services. McGarity and Williams, really the majority of this offense, with a ton of help from Major Applewhite. James Johnson for Mississippi State, 16 carries, 107 yards. 3rd down and 1. The toss to James Johnson in the backfield, brought down short of the first down. Cedric Woodard, a loss on the play. He lost 3.
Watch, you know, it's 3rd and 2, and that's actually manageable. But watch here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 guys up. 3rd and 2, you have a choice of what you want to do, and if you get 9 guys up, you'd like to get out of that and hit the tight end or the back in the flat or something you created. That swarming defense of Texas was up there, and they were ready for the run, and that's what they got, and they did what they wanted to.
Jeff Walker, another punt for Mississippi State with Hodges Mitchell deep for Texas. Another good punt from Walker. The fair catch called for by Mitchell at the Texas 12-yard line. And now some tempers start to flare here as these two start to mix it up. Texas gets the ball back in just 1 point. It has been the big play offense for Texas. They have yet to run a play inside the red zone. All new Sunday. What kind of monster steals the unborn? Nominated for 3 Golden Globe Awards, including Best Dramatic Series. The X-Files, an all-new episode Sunday, 9 Eastern, 8 Central on Fox. Just to say again, if we're talking about the X-Files as we look at X-Men, Texas has 21 points today, and they have yet to run a play inside the Mississippi State red zone. Major Applewhite and crew back to work from their own 13-yard line. It's Ricky Williams up the middle again. Another enormous hole, and he is to the 25 with a Texas first down.
And that's right in the middle. And if you recall back and you think they weren't having those runs early in the first quarter. That's that block right there. That's Kenwan Smith who's getting blocked by Russell Gaskamp, and Smith playing with the sore ankle he had sprained. They didn't have those runs in the middle, Joe, early in the first quarter when Kenwan Smith was playing healthy. And since then, he came out and his backup's been in there, and he's come back in hurt, and that's when all the big runs have been coming right up the center.
That was good for a gain of 13. Ricky Williams off the right side. Cornell Menifee met him. He had friends with him, along with Larry Campbell, a gain of just 3.
You know, we talk about Applewhite, and you talk about the balance of the Texas offense, and Ricky Williams is so much, and we talked about it at the top on the onset about defense's focus on stopping him. And you focus on stopping him, you do things. You run blitz, you put 8 and 9 men up in the box, and that's why for Applewhite, all his passes have been big passes deep.
Ricky Williams again, actually play action fake. It got everybody, and Lewis, the tight end, makes the catch, gets the first down out at the Texas 43. Everybody looking at Ricky Williams, and there's Major Applewhite finding his tight end, Derek Lewis.
Well, that's exactly what we've been talking about, Joe. You talk Ricky Williams. You start honing in on him, and you pay so much attention at what he's doing. Everybody's flowing to the ball. Now, this defense that Mississippi State runs, it's a 3-5-3. 3 down linemen, and then the dog, and then the linebackers. And these 2 dog guys are actually like 2 more strong safeties.
Applewhite to throw. Ricky Williams out of the backfield, has the first down, runs over a defender. He flattens Kendall Robertson and gets the first down with a gain of 20.
Ricky Williams.
Hello, Mr. Heisman. My name's Mr. Robertson.
And that was a nasty collision, and Robertson got punished.
Well, he did the thing, what he's supposed to do. He came up and he went after him, and he made his tackle. And that's the thing. You know what? At least he stopped him that time. What we've been seeing, it's not a pretty sight. It's not a pretty sight. But he's down. And what we have seen before with McGarity and with Ricky Williams is you tackle them, and then they're sliding off them, and they're not getting them down.
Again, the backup receivers, Nunez and White, in the lineup for Texas. On first down, and it's Ricky Williams. Up the middle. Brought down at the 25, has another Texas first down. Eric Daniel and Tim Nelson made the stop for the Bulldogs.
You know, you start fearing him, and now the mystique kicks in because everybody knows. Watch Nelson come on. Why he breaks down. He breaks down about 5 yards away from Ricky Williams. And you've got to get up right up on top of him. And you start getting the yards, and you start seeing it. Now you're playing. Now the whole mystique thing sets in, and you realize what Ricky Williams is all about.
That is the fullback, Ricky Brown, and he is met at the line of scrimmage, thrown backward by Nelson and Barron Simpson. He just got 2. Ricky Williams. Ricky looks a little tired right now. I think in more ways than one.
As Joe Lee Dunn told us, he was hoping he might be tired because all those banquets he's been to in the last month.
I just say it again because Joe Lee Dunn said, look, we're going to try to slow him down, and we're going to hope that he's tired because he's been to a lot of banquets.
Yeah, been to a lot of banquets. You know the guy is pretty doggone good when you're hoping he's going to be tired from all the banquets he's been at.
2nd down and 8.
If that's all you can hope for, that's saying a lot about the guy carrying the ball.
Applewhite falls down as he goes back, dropping back, and then as Ashley Cooper spun him around, the Texas crowd didn't like it.
And Ashley Cooper is one of those dogs. He's the dog. See him outside here? There's a dog. And watch, now they're bringing people. See all the guys they're bringing here? Watch Ricky Williams step up here. Boom. Oh, and you don't think the pro scouts love to see that? If you get a back that can run over people and have the moves and the shake that Ricky Williams has, and then you keep him in there in the passing situations and knows where the guy is you have to pick up, that's one of the things the coaches love about him, is that he's smart. He's football smart.
3rd and 15. Applewhite throws. Has a man incomplete. Cavill just off his fingertips. That'll bring up a 4th down. Eric Daniel was beaten on the play, but Applewhite led his receiver a bit too far. And to make one other point about Ricky Williams as we take another look at this, Cavill couldn't get there in time. You're talking about Ricky Williams, a former fullback who wasn't really the feature back until the last couple of years. And well, you know what he's done. 6,279 yards later is the all-time collegiate rushing record holder.
He reminds me, looking at him, his size, especially the size from the waist down, in his thighs, Jamal Anderson. And then you're talking about, it was a backup guy, wasn't a feature guy, and then he steps in and gets all those yards. Well, what you're talking about is Jamal Anderson. That's what he was. A backup guy, not a feature guy. He gets the shot, and he gets all those yards.
Play clock running out as Texas will try the field goal. A 47-yard try by Stockton, and he got it. Brian White, one of the backup wide receivers, was late in getting out into the huddle and onto the field, and with 2 seconds left on the play clock, good snap, good hold, good kick. 24-3 Texas.
Back with you from the Cotton Bowl, where the Longhorns lead the Bulldogs 24-3 in the 3rd. And one man that we can thank for our great week here representing Southwestern Bell, Bill Hannigan. And Bill, sometimes we get so caught up in the football game we forget this is about education too.
That's right, and 3/4 of every dollar is going to higher education out of the Cotton Bowl.
We also sometimes forget that kids really need some help. The kids who aren't just playing football.
That's exactly right. And we had this week we had the art contest with 6,500 kids from the local area, 3,000 band members from around the country, and it's been terrific. A lot of tradition at the Cotton Bowl. It's great to have Fox as part of the tradition now.
It's great to be here. Joe, back up to you.
Thank you, Susie. Kick is taken by Pig Prather, and he crosses the 30, knocked out of bounds at the 31, a 27-yard return. And we have to echo the sentiments just said down there, as we have had a fun week, and all I heard coming down here was wait till you see how those people at the Cotton Bowl take care of you, and they have. And it's been an honor to wear the headset in spot of a guy like Lindsey Nelson, who for years was the voice of the Cotton Bowl. And even my father, Jack Buck, who was here for a couple of Cotton Bowls. It's an honor being here for us. 1st down and 10 from their own 30. Texas leading 24-3, and Madkin, with one of his few completions to the fullback, McKinley, stays on his feet. Good run after the catch, and he has a 1st down at midfield.
Joe, to go along with that, what you're saying is because it's the classic, and because it is a Cotton Bowl classic with all the tradition and all the great names on the field and in the booth, as you referred to, because you have great games and great schools and universities that come down here and participate.
Take a look at the number 37 in honor of Doak Walker. And again, this would have been his 72nd birthday. This is the 50th anniversary of his Heisman year at SMU. This, the house that Doak built. A 1st down from midfield, Wayne Madkin. Throwing to the sideline and nearly picked off by Quentin Jammer.
Yeah, there's some struggles there on the offense for Mississippi State, and it's due to the young quarterback. And you can look at the points and yards in this quarter alone, and 2 punts. And at that time right there, Madkin had receivers open. But by the time he chose to throw the ball down the field to them, they had already been covered up, and he had to actually throw the ball away.
A study in opposites as you go from Wayne Madkin to that young man, Major Applewhite. And it has been a dreamlike day for Applewhite. Here at the Cotton Bowl, a sack, and that's Rogers. Sean Rogers brings down Madkin back at the 41.
Rogers is who I said earlier has seen a lot of playing time because he comes in at the defensive tackle position. They move Woodard over there outside, and they take out J.J. Kelly, and he just blows right up the gap. Right past Eric Allen and Craig Moore. And that looked like a blown blocking assignment up front because Moore went to the left, and Eric Allen, the center, thought he had some help. And heck, as a defensive lineman, I mean, that's what you keep going for. You just keep applying that pressure. You just keep coming after them until hopefully, you know, they make a mistake.
Rogers had 3 sacks during the regular season. That's his first of the day. And now a 3rd and 19. More pressure. Another sack. Aaron Humphrey.
We talked about the momentum earlier. You could feel the swing, and I've said it before, and in college sports, you can really feel it as it changes. As it goes back and forth, you get the sense while you're sitting here watching it, more so, I think, than any other level. There's Humphreys leading the charge, and he shoots an inside gap.
Aaron Humphrey, who had 10 sacks during the regular season, gets his first of the day. A loss of 15 on that sack, and now the punt from Walker. He's a good one, and it's a good thing for Mississippi State. He is a talented punter. Good coverage downfield as Hodges Mitchell makes the catch. Eugene Clinton there to make the stop for Texas. Not only is the offense rolling for the Longhorns, the defense steps up. Texas leads big. Take a look back at the 1983 Cotton Bowl Classic. It looked like an offensive showdown between Pittsburgh's Dan Marino and the Pony Express of SMU, led by Eric Dickerson. With rugged weather and tough defense limited the offensive output to a Lance McElhaney touchdown run and a lone Pitt field goal. The Mustangs won 7-3 over Pitt. And we highlight old Slugworth in the middle there, 71. Who's that, Bill?
Yeah, well, that was me in the first half. I think I sprained an ankle in that game. Actually, you know what? That game, I remember, we talked about Marino and then the Pony Express, and we actually shut down the Pony Express. We shut them down, and then the quarterback snuck in for 6 points, and that was the game.
There was a personal foul on Eugene Clinton at the end of that tackle. And here it is as he slams Hodges Mitchell to the turf and then steps up, walks over him.
Yeah, you know what the whole thing about that is, too? Is that takes it back, and now Texas has good field position. And that punt, where they had a punt from, Joe, and where the ball is right now, isn't even enough for Mississippi State first down where it would have been. That's how backed up Mississippi State went on that play. Series.
Mississippi State, in fact, -1 yard in this third quarter of total offense. 1st and 10 from their own 49. Ricky Williams, who's working on a 100-yard quarter. He's fast approaching that. Brought down by Bert Keys. A gain of 5. He has 74 rushing yards. Ricky Williams does in this third quarter alone. And you look at the total yards combined with a 20 through the air, 94 yards in this quarter.
Well, you know, he's going to get his yards, and he's going to get them in every game he plays at any level. But the thing about it is what Mississippi State knew coming into the game.
There's a result of one of those runs.
That's right. Is that the quarterback is the one they got to stop. And then they knew that coming in, and that's really what they haven't been able to stop.
A first down carry by Ricky Williams as he got 6. They needed 5. And Ricky Williams now is walking right through the middle of this Mississippi State defense. It's nothing on the edges. It's nothing around the corners. It's right up the middle.
You know, Mac Brown, you walk in as a first-year coach, Joe, and you walk in and you have Ricky Williams. I mean, how nice would that be? I mean, you know, you talk about all the coaching changes all over in college, and then how about the pro open job?
Applewhite to put it up. Looking for Cavill. A little contact, and a late flag comes in. Anthony Derricks was downfield and made contact with Kwame Cavill.
And if that's going to be a pass interference, you know, in the pros, it would be down there at the 5, but in college, it's just 15 yards from the spot. And that's the call, pass interference.
Derricks in disagreement.
Pass interference against the defense. 15-yard penalty. First down.
So there's the 15-yard penalty. And that'll make it a first down for Texas approaching the Mississippi State 25-yard line. And you look at the pass defense, best in the SEC for Jackie Sherrill's Mississippi State Bulldogs, and they have been shredded by a redshirt freshman quarterback for over 200 yards.
Yeah, maybe there's something to be said for all those football camps he attended, because he's definitely not playing like a freshman or a redshirted freshman. This kid is playing like a poised guy that's been in this situation a ton.
1st and 10. And a handoff to Ricky Williams.
All right.
He flattens Tim Nelson and brings it to the 23-yard line, a gain of 2, and now Tim Nelson is down.
Wow. I mean, Tim Nelson was down the second Ricky Williams, and he collided.
And now the anxious moments to
watch
wait
Tim
for
Nelson,
him to get
17.
up.
Watch here. He fills the hole, and the second he fills that hole, he feels the wrath. You don't look at the heads down, and it goes down further. You don't like to do that. That's why they always tell you when you tackle with your head up. You know, when you have Ricky Williams coming at you, though, and he's been running over your guys all day long, your head gets down because you're looking at those legs. You're trying to find those legs.
Well, the anxious moments here at the Cotton Bowl, and we look at trying to stop Ricky Williams, the first defender, tackled by the first defender 8 times, and then you see him working his way down. 20 missed tackles, and isn't it a relief and wonderful to see Tim Nelson get up and walk off?
Well, he looks like he needs some help walking off. Obviously, he looks like he's completely out of it.
But when you consider the alternative with the head down running into Ricky Williams,
sure,
that's great.
And you know, the thing about it is also on this defense is that most of these guys trying to tackle Ricky Williams are averaging probably around 225 pounds. That's the linemen and the guys outside and in the backfield as well.
Toss to Williams running right. Has a lane. Down to the 5, lowers his shoulder and knocked out of bounds at the 2 by Robert Bean.
You know how we had all those vignettes about all the great Heisman Trophy players that played here, and Joe Walker and his highlights. Well, 20, 30 years from now, this is it. This is the Ricky Williams show, and this is Ricky Williams Cotton Bowl. I mean, he's doing it every which way a running back can do it. He's done it with speed, he's done it with power, and he's done it with moves.
Doak Walker, who was 5'11", 175 pounds, a bit different. Watching Ricky Williams move down the field, forced out of bounds at the 2, and Williams with 177 yards rushing on the day. Will they give it to him? Let him punch it in for the Longhorns? Why not? Oh, touchdown Texas! The second of the day for Ricky Williams, and his show continues right down to his team's final bowl game.
That's as good as running as I've ever seen, period. He's powerful when he needs to be powerful. He's fast when he needs to be fast. And he's got the moves when he needs to use them.
It doesn't matter what sport scouts scout. The combination of power and speed is so rare and such a high-priced commodity, and Ricky Williams has it all. Chris Stockton to tack on another extra point. And it is turning into a blowout here at the Cotton Bowl with 2:42 remaining in the third quarter. All of a sudden, it's 31-3 Texas, and the Longhorns have scored 17 points in under 10 minutes in this quarter.
Watch Anthony Derricks, number 6, come up. right here and try to fill the hole, and it's Ricky Williams just delivering the blow. Big when he needs to be big, fast when he needs to be fast, and has the moves whenever he needs them.
I can't speak from the experience of having watched Tim Couch play, and I know he's a wonderful collegiate quarterback, but the more you see of Ricky Williams, the more I would think it would be difficult to pass him in any draft.
Well, I think in today's day and age, too, because you see the teams that are successful all have that power running game. You see the Atlanta Falcons have it. You see the Denver Broncos have it. When you can run downhill, when you got a guy that can run downhill, that short takes a lot out of the defense you're playing, and it also gives your offense a chance. Now you can do so many things off of that, no matter who your quarterback is. Kind of the situation Peyton Manning's in Indianapolis. You take a young quarterback, you give him a Marshall Faulk, you run the ball, and then you watch him get better.
Stockton with another kickoff. That's Kelvin Love in the end zone. He'll take a knee. So Mississippi State will take it at their own 20. You look at Ricky Williams, Kevin Sluter, the junior, the right tackle for the Mississippi State Bulldog defense. As we wait for the flag, there is a late flag that came down on the play.
You see all the paint all over Sluter, all the field paint all over him, all over his jersey. And that's not a good sign when you're a defensive lineman.
Dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct against the white team.
That's Mississippi State's third unsportsmanlike conduct, and Jackie Sherrill's letting his team know about it. Rod Gibson, the fullback. And that's one thing Coach Sherrill's going to do. You can lose, but you're going to lose. You're going to have some class about it, and he won't tolerate that from his players.
And now you look over at the sideline and you see Matt Wyatt. Looks like Wyatt's going to hop back in there for Wayne Madkin. Came in talking about two redshirt freshman quarterbacks, and it's Wyatt taking over, and it's Madkin watching from the Mississippi State sideline. That little battle within the battle has been won by Major Applewhite decisively. From their own 10-yard line, a first down for the Bulldogs, down by 28. James Johnson, who has run hard all day, much to his credit. He hasn't quit. Let's go down to Ron Pitts on the Mississippi State sideline. Ron?
Joe Buck, bad day for Mississippi State with the score, worse with injuries. 4 players out total. Tim Nelson, you just saw him come off. He's got a mild concussion. Kendall Roberson, he went out earlier also with a mild concussion. Back up to you guys.
All right, Ron. And there's a look at Tim Nelson with the ice pack on the neck. Roberson was run over by Ricky Williams. Running out of ice on that sideline for Mississippi State. Second down and 7. Wyatt to throw, and he hits the tight end, Reggie Kelly. Good play by Quentin Jammer, and the Bulldogs will tell you, we need to get the ball more to Reggie Kelly, and they really haven't done that today either.
Reggie Kelly's a pretty good tight end, and the reason you're not able to get the ball to the tight end is when you have a good running back in Johnson, a lot of teams stack that line of scrimmage. You get a lot of traffic up there around the box area. There's an extra body or two in there, and that's the area that the tight end normally works. So there's so much traffic in there that the tight end can't get in there to work, and the result throughout the course of a season is not very many catches. But Reggie Kelly is going to be a pro. He's going to be drafted a second or third round draft choice, I believe.
Now third down and 2. James Johnson over the right side, fighting for the 20, did not get there, and therefore is short of the first down. Dusty Renfro, Donald McCowan up from the safety spot to help on the tackle.
But nice flow by Renfro.
And right now, Mississippi State is going to check in another tight end and go for it on fourth down on their own 19.
Well, you figure what the heck here, I guess. You're down by this much. It's 4 downs, but they don't get it here. And this Texas defense has been playing inspired. You get some points at your back, it's easy to do.
Fourth and 1. James Johnson didn't get it. Texas takes over. Dusty Renfro, the senior, there to put an exclamation point on the end of this one as we wind down the third quarter in the Cotton Bowl.
That's the thing. You can feel it. You know, you get those points at your back, and your defense just feels confident to go ahead and play and let everything hang out. Watch Renfro, number 60, fill the hole along with Woodard, Rogers, Babineau. All the guys are there, and that's what happens when you have that kind of lead, that kind of cushion. You play and you let it all hang out.
What an end to that series for the Texas defense. So it's 4 and out. Taking over, Major Applewhite. They'll go right back to the air. Corner of the end zone. Touchdown! Kwame Cavill.
What a throw. What a throw by Applewhite. Kwame Cavill on the double move. Actually just froze the defender.
There is a penalty flag that came down late. Referee Dan Blum indicating it was against Mississippi State. The penalty obviously declined. The touchdown stands, and this is turning into a rout, an in-your-face rout. I mean, it's not Major Applewhite in Texas running the ball to end this third quarter. Here's Stockton to try to tack on the extra point. He has been perfect all day in that capacity, and Cavill gets his first. Although there's a penalty flag on this play, and the indications are it also is against Mississippi State.
He got the dirty bird going. Did you see that, Cavill?
I did.
He had the dirty bird going from Jamal Anderson in the Atlanta Falcons.
He's getting ready for the NFL playoffs.
Dead ball.
Look at
personal foul.
Dan Blum, another personal foul against Mississippi State.
Assessed on the kickoff.
Jackie Sherrill's got to be not only disappointed, but a bit embarrassed with the way his guys are playing right now.
And don't think there's not some Texas alumni that are just loving this. And if you think back to Jackie Sherrill when he was at Texas A&M, and he just used to whip up on Texas all the time, 7-2 record. And he put the score up on him, too. He got a thrill out of beating Texas. And don't think the alumni don't remember that. And don't think that they haven't told Mac Brown about it, too. First-year coach, new to the Texas tradition. You see the 1 foot in by Cavill. And Eric Daniel was frozen in his track by the double move.
Mac Brown may sign that new 10-year deal before the Longhorns leave the field today. I mean, what a showing. And you're right. You took the thought right out of my head about the history with Jackie Sherrill at Texas A&M. That 7-2 record, at times running it up on Texas, rubbing it in, enjoying it. Well, it's Mac Brown on the other sideline. And he does have a good relationship with Jackie Sherrill, who is returning the favor for Texas Longhorn alums in this Cotton Bowl.
Mac Brown's done a nice job of bringing in his staff, and all his staff had crossroads somewheres together. They know each other. They've worked together at one school or another along the lines, and he comes in and takes over this program. The same bunch of guys they had, and as we talked about, the biggest thing he did was when he went out and he kept Ricky Williams in school.
This ought to go right through the back of the end zone after the personal foul. Kicking off from midfield, Stockton puts it through the back of the end zone. Here are a couple of stats for you, even if you're not a big stat person. Mississippi State, 56 penalty yards this quarter. Only 7 yards of total offense. And for Texas, they score 24 points in 12 minutes and 20 seconds in this third quarter. And it's hard to remember that that very poised young man, Major Applewhite, is just a freshman. That last drive consisted of one play, an 18-yard touchdown toss to Kwame Cavill. Matt Wyatt back at quarterback as this third quarter winds down, under 10 seconds left. Play action.
Balls away, balls.
Down the middle of the field, Kevin Cooper can't get there. Defending on the play, Tony Holmes, and there are 3 seconds remaining in the third quarter.
There's Holmes, number 31, and that ball is just a little overthrown as well to Cooper. And, you know, the secondary, which actually they thought they could win this battle. They, being Mississippi State, thought they could win this battle going into the game. And then early on in the game, you lose Kevin Prentice, and you get the young quarterback who's a little bit anxious and overthrows all his balls. And that was the start of what has become and what it is right now.
This should be the end of the third quarter. Quick out route, and as time expires, the drop by Kelvin Love. Offensively, it's been a nightmare for Mississippi State. It's been a dream day for Major Applewhite and the Texas Longhorns. They're rolling back at the Cotton Bowl after these words.
Boy, you talk about frustration. That's frustration when you're giving your best effort on the field and the ball boy fell asleep on you.
Well, we got an early start on New Year's Day, and I think he's worn out. So is the Mississippi State defense right now as their offense tries to get something going, faced with a 3rd and 10 from their own 20. And the pass is complete to Kelvin Love. Strong throw from Wyatt, and a first down at the 35. 15-yard gain.
I think that's their first down of the second half.
How much do you think Darrell Royal is enjoying this? And you start talking about Mack Brown, people more familiar with that program start thinking, well, maybe we have another Darrell Royal in our midst, a guy who can be here a long time and help move this program forward.
Well, I think in the aspect of his personality, I mean, he's a good X&O coach. He's a good disciplinarian, but there's so much more to being a head coach at the college level.
On first down, Wyatt to put it up. And the pass is complete. Just shy of the 40-yard line by Kevin Cooper.
And I think the one thing Mack Brown does is he has that ability to make everybody, the alumni included, and all the people that help out in the Texas program, which is such a huge program, he makes them all feel important, like they all have a hand in the matter. And then everybody who says anything or has a say so, he listens to. And I don't think they had that here before, and not since Royal.
2nd down and 5. Opening minutes of the 4th quarter. And the toss to James Johnson. He's brought down at the 44-yard line, just a little short of the first down. There's Tom Kite. He hits it a lot straighter and a lot longer than either you or I.
Well, definitely me. Now you got a pretty good golf game. Last time I checked you out, you were swinging them pretty good.
Not that good, but you're going to start seeing some proud Texas alums popping up here and there.
They're going to come out of the woodwork. You know, you get back to the Cotton Bowl and you get the Heisman Trophy winner, and heck, you know, talk about the Heisman Trophy. At this rate, this young quarterback, if he stays on this and they get another running back in there to help him out as a freshman, he's got 3 more great years of football. Staying healthy, he could be a candidate down the stretch.
McKinley picks up the first down on a quick hitter over the right side. Sean Rogers was there to bring him down, along with DeAndre Lewis, a gain of 4. Bully the Bulldog is still with us.
The Bully's
hanging
hungry.
in.
Yeah, he's hungry. It's lunchtime. I mean, what is he? He's got a shoe. He took someone's shoe, and then there's Bevo.
That thing hasn't moved since 7:30 this morning.
Did you say move?
Moved.
Moved. Yeah, he has moved. He's kicked up the turf underneath him. Bevo gets that. See, that hoof. It's all kicked up. That's what bulls do. They dig in there.
Okay, first down for Mississippi State, and Wyatt down the far sideline. No catch. Great effort by Love as he runs into the yellow pig.
Yeah. You're supposed to let your fingers do the walking in there.
That miss, I guess, brought to you by Southwestern Bell.
You can go through the yellow pages and find football.
Good effort here by Kelvin Love, despite his team being down by 35 points. And you don't get surprised with that. A Jackie Sherrill coach team, they're going to hang in there and keep fighting. What is, I'm sure, a little disappointing are the personal fouls on the part of Mississippi State along the way, but you can understand the frustration. As Wyatt sets up a screen, James Johnson has blocking in front of him, has a first down, gets to the 30. Brought down by McCowan, and a gain of 22.
I'll tell you, that was a pretty nice job of Matt Wyatt, because the blitz was coming and Johnson had to make a decision. Johnson, the screen was called, and Johnson stepped up and saw the blitz, and he just brushed by the blitzer. Watch, right here, he steps up, he just brushes by him and lets him go. And look at the pressure that's around Wyatt. And Wyatt backpedals, and buys Johnson time to get the ball over the top of the head of defenders into Johnson.
First catch of the day for James Johnson. Now he gets it on a toss. Offense starting to pick it up on this drive for Mississippi State. Over the left side, a pickup of 2 is Dusty Renfro. Helped to bring down James Johnson, and he looks to be in a little pain. He's had numerous groin injuries, and he's been bothered by a left shoulder.
Yeah, he had a little separation in the AC joint of his shoulder. He came in our meeting room, and he was inquisitive about it. He says, yeah, what is that thing?
He asked you.
Yeah, does it hurt? I mean, how long does it hurt? Am I going to be okay? I mean, I can move my arm, he's asking me.
So really the only time it bothers him is when he's trying to stop his fall with his left hand.
That's when your shoulder kind of goes up to your ear, and that's when that thing hurts.
Second down. Play action, and Wyatt over the middle. What a catch.
Nice grab.
Big catch made by LaHisha Grant. Brought down at the 10. Tony Holmes defending, but that was all catch.
LaHisha Grant's been in there with Kelvin Love, and they've been rotating in there because Prentice has been out. And that passing game hasn't been there for the most part of this game, but Grant comes up with a nice catch here on a crossing pattern.
So now down at the 10-yard line. A first and goal for Mississippi State. And nothing. Brought down to the backfield is Pig Prather. Brought down by Aaron Humphrey, and a loss of 3.
I said that I was impressed by Randy Thomas. He's impressed me and not only he's a good player, he's a heck of a good player. But that thing, he ate all those steaks. He ate 8 steaks, and then another guy that impresses me is 29 Pig Prather. I mean, you have a name Pig, and you're playing football, and you're right. I mean, that's to me is impressive.
Second down and goal from the 13-yard line. Wyatt with a step out to his right. The pass is complete and forced out of bounds at the 5-yard line.
Matt Butler.
Matt Butler made the catch, and it was Joe Walker who forced him out to bring up a 3rd and goal.
Wyatt seems to be feeling a little bit more comfortable back there. And he's making some nice passes. His passes have been on the money.
13th play of the drive coming up here. So a sustained drive for Mississippi State. Trying to get this score a little more respectable. 38-3 Texas. 3rd and goal from the 5. And the jump ball. Cooper. Incomplete. Quentin Jammer got his hands in there, and the ball took a bounce before Cooper picked it up.
Yeah, just a little bit shy on that one from Wyatt. You see the ball? Cooper had to actually stop and come back. And that gives Quentin Jammer a time to catch up. And Jammer does a nice job. You see, watch, he gets his hand up, and then the other hand comes along with a strip. That's a nice play by Jammer, but the ball was just a little bit underthrown by Wyatt.
And again on 4th down, time to go for it. From the 5-yard line, 4th down. Wide open is Grant in for the touchdown. A 14-play drive, and LaHisha Grant gets his 2nd touchdown of the season, and obviously his first of this Cotton Bowl. Grant, a couple of leaping catches, the senior from Dora, Alabama, and he has certainly made his presence felt on this latest drive by the Bulldogs. Going for 2, the Mississippi State Bulldogs trailing 38-9. Get a chance to get points. Why not go after him? And the toss to Johnson, right side, trying to get there, and he's in.
Nice spin move by Johnson. 2nd ever put him into the end zone.
A spirited effort by James Johnson. Bad shoulder, bad groin and all. with his team down 38-9. He makes it 38-11. A sustained drive by Mississippi State. Grant the touchdown. It gets a little better on the scoreboard. We welcome you back inside the Cotton Bowl here in Dallas, Texas. 63rd annual Southwestern Bell Cotton Bowl. And Texas will get the ball back. They hope, although you might start seeing one onside kick after another. Leading by plenty. 38-11. 27-point game. And you would expect the onside kick. Ryan Hazelwood kicking it for Mississippi State. Gets the good kick. And we'll see who comes out of the pile with it.
Flag on the play.
Flag on the play. And we'll wait to see who has it. Mississippi State indicating that they have it. Perfect kick from Hazelwood. It took those 2 hops, and that second one popped up into the air. Dan Blum wants to make sure. He says it's going with Texas. There is a penalty flag on the field, and we'll check the marker.
However, there is a flag down.
The official is standing back near the area where the ball was kicked. Could be an offside, but just a guess, and we'll wait.
They would decline.
Although the kicking team is still out there right now for Mississippi State. We'll wait for the call. Starting to remind me of an NFL game all of a sudden. Okay, Dan, what do you have for us?
Illegal procedure against the kicking team. Penalty is declined. Texas has the ball.
There you go. Illegal procedure on the kicking team. Penalty decline. Texas has the ball, has the big lead. The Longhorns come out of the pile with a football. They lead by 27.
You know, it'd be something I'll remember all my life, getting to play against a Heisman Trophy winner. And, you know, within a month's time, we get to play against the #1 team in the nation in Tennessee. And now we get to play against the #1 running back in the nation. So, you know, as far as defense player, it's a big deal for us and something we'll always remember. And hopefully we can just slow them down.
Well, they've slowed him down at times early. Mississippi State defense came out of the box ready, but since then it's been all Ricky Williams. 179 yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground. 5 catches, 45 yards through the air, 224 total yards. And he wants more. Breaks the tackle of Hilliard. He gets back near the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
You know, you talk about that defense at Mississippi State, and they played very well against Tennessee. 24-14 the score was, and on offense they had their offensive linemen were hurt, and Johnson was hurt, and they couldn't put the points up. And if they were healthy, they might have had a better shot at beating them. But the point being is that how good this Texas team is.
And how good young Major Applewhite is, and I know we continue to say that, but if there is a difference in this game and in this matchup, it's been the play of the quarterback, which has opened up the running game for Ricky Williams. The throw from Applewhite, and he has one dropped on him by Kwame Cavill. Talked to Major Applewhite, and he had one of those fathers who was in his corner and his biggest supporter through the days in high school, sending him to all the camps, going on a business trip one day while his son was playing in a high school game in Baton Rouge, and he went to Radio Shack and bought a speakerphone and sat in his hotel room in Chicago and listened to the game off the radio back in Baton Rouge. And Major Applewhite doesn't look at those times with his father as anything to be resented. As you've heard other stories of parents pushing. That is not the case with these two, the best of friends. Look out, Major. You just got smoked, and that was Kenzaki Jones coming on the blitz.
Major Applewhite.
It's another aspect. He just pops up and goes right back over to the sideline.
And like I said, he carries that poise about him like he's been there before. There's Kenzaki Watts, and then Ricky has a choice of who's he's going to pick up. Now, the quarterback is going to be responsible for one, but the thing about it is that was to his blind side. they had brought more to the blind side than they could protect.
Not a big guy, not big hands, yet able to hang on to that ball despite the wallop from Kenzaki Jones. The punt from Long. This is Love on the return. Kelvin Love down the near sideline and forced out of bounds. Chris Robertson made the tackle for Texas. Michael Bodwin also down there for the Longhorns. Back in a moment. Well, in case you're wondering if Ricky Williams is on pace for a record-setting day, forget it. 1954 Cotton Bowl featured Alabama and Rice. The unquestioned star of the game, Rice tailback Dickie Magel. He rushed for the Cotton Bowl record, 265 yards and 11 carries. And then there was this, the infamous tackle from the sideline. Tide running back Tommy Lewis, who came off the sideline, jumped off the bench to tackle Magel, but Magel was awarded by the officials a 95-yard touchdown run. Rice won that game 28-6 over Alabama, and there's the day for Ricky Williams, who now watches his defense.
A powerful act. That's what's coming off the sidelines. It's a powerful act. You can award a touchdown. But heck, you know, you get tired. A guy running for 265 yards, you get tired of seeing him run by you.
Matt Wyatt throwing behind Love. He adjusts, makes the catch, and is forced out of bounds just inside Texas territory by Joe Walker.
Pretty good grab by Love, because Love turned around not expecting the ball to be where it was, which was right on top of him as he turned around.
So Calvin Love and Lahisha Grant have made some catches down the stretch here.
It's all ahead of you there.
It's all ahead of you. First Cotton Bowl, I'm guessing. 8:24 remaining in this 63rd annual Southwestern Bell Cotton Bowl. And a first down for Mississippi State. Wyatt fires to no one. Matt Butler, the closest one to it, with Tony Holmes defending. We saw a shot of someone seeing her first Cotton Bowl. If you look at the numbers for Matt Wyatt, 11 out of 18 for 141 yards, 1 touchdown. That was to Lahisha Grant on the last possession. I'll show you soon a man who's been to every Cotton Bowl. Second down and 10. Wyatt with pressure from the backside gets it to Cooper. And Kevin Cooper falls down at the Texas 33. Aaron Humphrey put a hit on Matt Wyatt after he delivered the ball.
Oh, it's easy to do, Joe, when you know that they're become one-dimensional, which they did early in the third quarter. And that's how offensive linemen get hurt. When they fall in the back of your legs.
First down and 10 of the Texas 33 for Mississippi State, and the incompletion. Let's take you down to the sideline and Susie Culver.
Well, Ricky Williams just tried to steal this bat from me. You know, a lot of people thought that Ricky could win the Heisman, but none more so than Rob Sellers, a UT grad, a pharmacist, and a woodmaker. He carved this inscription of the Heisman all the way back in May. Now, we know that Ricky plays baseball. Well, not only could he not swing it, he couldn't even accept it. You know, NCAA doesn't allow gifts, Joe.
You keep it. Susie Culver down on the sideline.
He can get it in May. He can get it this May.
Wyatt fires to the sideline, incomplete. Kelvin Love, he likes the yellow pages. I don't think he dials information very often. He's into the yellow pages time and time again.
You know, and they get you for the initial call, and then they get you if you get lazy and they dial it for you.
That's you.
Of course. How about we talked about those gifts. Heck, Ricky Williams, come next summer.
He's going to get some gifts.
He's going to get a lot of gifts and be able to buy a lot of gifts.
Here's a guy who took his baseball signing bonus to help his sisters go to college.
Yeah, and we talked to him, too. He's a humble guy, and you see it in his body language. And you see it when you talk to him. He's a shy, quiet, humble guy who really doesn't feel like he's accomplished all that much. And I think that's the driving factors of the great ones.
Timeout called for by Mississippi State. They have 2 remaining as Love walks off.
Spends a lot of his time playing Nintendo, the Madden 99. He and Wayne McGarity get together in the room and they battle it out on Madden 99.
You know, you saw the bat.
They're everywhere.
They are everywhere.
They're getting ready for tomorrow. Even in Dallas at the Cotton Bowl, they're getting ready for tomorrow.
Sunday, the road to Super Bowl 33 on Fox begins with a classic NFC matchup. Brett Favre and the Packers head to San Francisco to battle Steve Young and the 49ers as these two bitter rivals square off the NFC Wild Card playoffs. Coverage begins Sunday, 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific, right here on Fox. Started to say you saw the bat that will be given at some point to Ricky Williams, former draft selection of the Philadelphia Phillies. The chance he could end up NFL-wise drafted by the Philadelphia Eagles, but that's another story. And then you hear the obvious comparisons to a guy like Bo Jackson, another Heisman Trophy Award winner. Bo Jackson was in a category of his own.
Himself.
Here's a guy who was 230, Bill, who ran the 40 at under 4.3. But you're looking at Ricky Williams, still a top speed guy with a ton of power. Third down and 10. Wyatt under pressure, and he's dropped, sacked. J.J. Kelly. And a penalty flag is down on the play out in the secondary. Check the marker that rests on the 20-yard line.
I believe they're going to get Joe Walker on a hold downfield. And we'll see where that correlates with. That's it.
And so instead of the sack and instead of a long fourth down play coming up, a fresh set for Mississippi State. 7.5 remaining.
Repeat third down.
So because they don't say the numbers, Bill, I'm more than willing to
agree with me.
Agree with you that it was Joe Walker. Congratulations.
We may have some footage to back that up. You never know.
Then again,
you never know. Don't ever question me, Joe. Don't ever question me.
Okay.
Watch downfield here. He's got Kevin Cooper, and he's got a man covered. Now, right there, you're allowed to jam, but see that fistful jersey? That's when he spun him around.
You got it. And we had it. Mike Burks, Artie Kempner in the truck.
Doing their usual stellar job.
Absolutely.
10 yards, so this will be a first.
They might not say the number, but we can find you. It's a first down on the play.
You know, you'd mentioned it earlier, Joe, that all these congregations with the officials, kind of a prerequisite for the NFL, isn't it?
I think so. They're qualified. Coming up on 7.5 minutes remaining. First down for Mississippi State. From the 23-yard line of Texas. Trying to make that scoreboard here at the Cotton Bowl look a little bit better. Wyatt sacked Babineau. What a day for Aaron Babineau, the junior from Port Arthur, Texas.
He's had an outstanding day. This is a guy that was a strong safety last year. Only had 9 starts this year in '98. Watch number 38 off the top of the screen right there. Bang. Off the outside. And like we talked about every time I talked about it, it's been his speed that's his asset. And he's been phenomenal. He's been all over the field.
A timeout called for by Mississippi State. They are left with only one. They're down by 27. 2nd and 18 when we come back. Welcome back to Dallas. This game summary is brought to you by Coors Light. McGarity and Williams. What a combination, along with Major Applewhite for the Texas Longhorns. For Mississippi State, James Johnson, 22 carries, 112 yards. A lot of damage in the first half. Third quarter scoring, well, it was dominated by Texas, although here in the fourth quarter, the Mississippi State offense has picked it up under Matt Wyatt.
There's the Fox sign there. And, you know, to me, that's the biggest difference in college sports, the band. Because the bands are playing, and you got that beat and that pomp and that pageantry. And in the NFL stadiums, you know, they got that music. They'll play all kinds of different rock music or pop music.
Quick throw to Grant, and he is just accordioned by Dusty Renfro.
But you get the school's fight songs going back and forth, and they're battling it out, and then the fans got their cheers down and their times right. And that's the whole thing about college sports. The pageantry, the color that's out here today, and the excitement. I mean, these fans are excited to be here. They'll travel from wherever they need to come from, although for Texas, it's right in their own backyard. and they come to the bowl games, or the big bowl games, and they support their teams and their university where they're all alumni from, and they've all got something in common, and that's, to me, that's a pretty neat thing.
Now 3rd down and 18 for Mississippi State. And whistles and flags before the play started, and that's good for somebody who lost their shoe. Cedric Woodard.
Yeah. Number 50, you had to reach down there and get his shoe.
Game, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Yeah, you see, look at see that right there on the back? Right here on the back, that U and the R, and that's the difference with the umpires. That's the referee. R's for referee. Now, the NFL linesman, the L, and the NFL, they all have numbers. The officials, there's a back judge, and that's a difference also between the collegiate ranks. There's referee, and then a back judge, line judge, HL for the head linesman, SL for the side judge.
That wouldn't be SJ.
Yeah, that's what it should be.
Down the middle and incomplete.
You know, I try to slip that by, and you're here all the time.
As the receiver, Matt Butler, got his feet tangled with Tony Holmes. And now a 4th down coming up. 4th and 23. 7 minutes left, Bill.
Don't talk to me anymore.
All right.
We're through. This is it for us. And it's 99. It's just a start.
That's right. Happy New Year, pal.
You too, Joseph.
It's a 38-11 Texas Longhorn lead. They look for their 9th win on the season. Each team won 8 coming in. Fourth and 23. Down the middle and incomplete. Penalty flag on the play. A penalty flag came in. Chris Butcher was defending, and it was Kelvin Love and Butcher that got hooked up.
Yeah, F threw the flag.
That works.
Yeah, F threw it. See, there's F, and he threw the flag.
These guys are going to talk it over for a little bit. Figure out the spot of the ball, and likely a 1st down coming up.
F talks with L, and then he talks with U, and then
Pass
the referee makes a call. There's
against the defense.
Back call.
Automatic 1st down.
If that was the call right there, that was a bad call.
They called pass interference. So 15 yards and the 1st down. Faced with a 4th and 23.
See, in college, you're allowed to keep your hands all over the receiver as long as he's in front of you. But when he gets to the side of you, he gets equal with you, that's when you have to let him go, and you can't chuck him anymore.
So it was Chris Butcher who was guilty, and now 1st and 10 from the 21 of Texas. Wyatt throws and incomplete. James Johnson, who has persevered. Aaron Babineau defending, and again, we'll say it. We've said his name time and time again. And Aaron Humphrey, who has been extremely impressive in this game.
You've persevered as well today, Joe.
Thank you, sir.
I'll tell you, this Texas defense has really caught my eye today, because they came out and Mississippi State did some things to them, and I thought, heck, you know, they could get something going here. And they've really persevered, so to say. They've stepped it up a notch. They've brought it up, and you can do that, like I said earlier, when your offense puts points at your back. You can take more risks, you can call more blitzes, and you can get after the quarterback.
Here's the option, and the pitch is behind the running back, and this will belong to Texas. Trying to get it to James Johnson. It's recovered by Jermaine Anderson, and the Longhorns will take over.
Yeah, that thing didn't have a chance from the start. That pitch, as he was running the option, Wyatt came down the line and tossed that thing out. It was actually behind Johnson. He's not looking. He flips the ball before he even looks to see where Johnson is at. His eyes were downfield looking at where the defense was to see if there's any holes there for himself.
So a new quarterback checks in, Richard Walton, who started the first 2 games of the season for the Longhorns. Did play at Nebraska as well. Broke a bone in his right hand, and I would say they fell into something with Major Applewhite.
I'll have to agree with you there. You know, I think the thing is, too, you bring in Major Applewhite, you have him, and you look at him, and you kind of see him on the sidelines. Joe, and you're a coach, you have to say, geez, you know, look at this kid. He looks young, and he looks timid, and you're not sure what you have until you throw him into the fire, and he responds the way he has.
You hear the ovation for Walton as you see the handoff to Ricky Williams. Does it surprise you at all that Williams is still in this game?
A little bit, you know, a little bit. Maybe they just want to just keep on doing what they do with him, but heck, you know, he's had a long offseason, a long past month with all the banquets, and he needs a little bit of a rest.
You see his day. You see the day through the air for Applewhite, hooking up with 132 of those yards to Wayne McGarity. 3 touchdowns on the day and nothing.
Well, if you
heck, really not even a 5th category, no interceptions. He's been almost perfect.
If you break another one, that 265 all of a sudden is in reach.
So is 200 yards for Ricky Williams, which could be a reason why he's still in there. And Ricky Williams tries the left side of the formation, gets to the 40, and that's it. You know, Richard Walton, before his season came to a close because of the injury and then losing his spot to Major Applewhite, is kind of the spiritual leader of this team. In fact, Ricky Williams talked about Walton during his acceptance speech at the Downtown Athletic Club in New York when he received the Heisman, and he has been extremely helpful to that young man, Major Applewhite, and he has the full support of Ricky Williams. It was a big ovation when Walton checked into the lineup.
As a senior playing in your last game ever in a Texas uniform, it's got to be a thrill for him.
Ricky Williams, everyone knew he'd get it. Ricky Williams fights his way forward and gets a first down.
And again to Ricky Williams.
Cornell Menifee made the stop. And Ricky Williams is now up to 190 yards, and if there is a benchmark, you might think 10 more yards, and that'll be it.
Of course, he's had 11 200-yard games, which is tied for #1 in the NCAA record books, along with Marcus Allen.
The air attack, the bomb squad, rests on the sideline for Texas as Ricky Williams goes up the middle. He's got 200 yards inside the Mississippi State 45-yard line, and we'll see if that's the magic number to get him out of here.
I don't think so. I don't think that's the number. I mean, with nearly 5 minutes left in the game, he's less than 65 yards away from breaking a Cotton Bowl record. Oh, no, that was it, Joe. There he goes.
203 yards and an exit for Ricky Williams.
That's it. His day's done.
Only the 3rd man in Cotton Bowl history to rush for over 200 yards. And these fans, the Longhorn fans that made the 3-hour trip here from Austin, can't heap enough appreciation on the back of Ricky Williams.
Well, you know, what he stands for and what he's done, coming back and weighing the decision. And Mac Brown said, you know, the interesting thing was when I got here, I talked with Ricky, and, you know, Ricky told me what he wanted. Not in the aspect of a guy that is a cocky athlete, but he said, well, how are you going to run this team? I want discipline on this team. And I think that's some of the things he felt were lacking before. He wanted to know what direction they were going to go in. And he never asked, am I going to be your feature guy? He never said, you know, am I going to get to carry the ball this many times? He just wanted to know what the structure of the team was going to be like.
Delayed handoff to Hodges Mitchell. He bounces to the outside and will come to rest after a 9-yard gain. Brought down by Adesela Badon. And now Ricky Williams, time to sign some autographs. You see a young Cowboy fan there. Earlier in the week, Ricky Williams went over to the house of Emmitt Smith. He is Dallas Cowboy fame and fortune. And visited with Emmitt Smith. He is one of his heroes, and Ricky Williams was surprised at how small Emmitt Smith is for the style of runner that he has become.
And they played video games over there, too. He loves playing video games. Emmitt beat him, though, he said.
This is Ricky Brown, the fullback, picks up the first down. And Susie Culber's with one of the heroes of today's Cotton Bowl. Susie?
Major Applewhite, a lot of people thought that the secret of this game would be in the quarterback's hands. Try to get it in a freshman's hands, see if you could really hold up under the pressure. I guess he answered that.
Well, you know, Coach Dunn, he brought a lot of people who was blitzing almost every play today. And Coach Davis did such a good job of preparing me and the rest of the team and picking up the blitzes and getting rid of the ball when they brought people that we couldn't handle. And today everybody just did such a great job. There was 10 other guys out there that did a fabulous job today. And they've been blessed with so much, ability and talent. I'm just so happy to be a part of this and be a part of them.
You said even before this game that the whole season had been a blur. Can you put it in some perspective?
You really can't put this season in perspective because last year was such a disappointing season, and this year we've turned things around and we're going in the right direction. And it's just been a magical season with Ricky breaking the records and just certain people having role parts, and role plays in the season. It's just really something special with Coach Brown coming in, bringing a new attitude.
We're kind of wondering if Ricky Williams is ever going to come out of this game.
I don't know. If it's his choice, he'll be there to the last play.
Major, congratulations on a
you.
great game.
Thank you very much.
Back up to you, Joe.
All right, Susie, thank you. This is Hodges Mitchell. He has taken over. He gets the ball down to the 15-yard line. You heard a big ovation for members of that very experienced senior offensive line. They headed off, and, well, these Longhorn fans know what they're looking at. They appreciate the efforts of these big guys.
Timeout.
A timeout taken by Mississippi State. Their final timeout. Texas on the move again. It's been all Bevo and the Longhorns here today, 38-11. Texas out in front, under 2 to play. Here in the 63rd annual Southwestern Bell Cotton Bowl before a crowd of 72,611. The largest crowd here since back in 1992 for a Texas A&M Florida State game. Second down and 9 from the 15. And Walton hands to Hodges Mitchell, and he's met in the backfield by Barron Simpson. We take you down to Ron Pitts.
All right, Joe Buck, standing by here with me is Mr. Lamar Hunt, the owner of the Kansas City Chiefs, and also one of the chairmen of this Cotton Bowl committee. And Mr. Hunt, I got to tell you, I got to ask you, what do you think of this game, first of all?
Well, it's been a great game and a wonderful crowd. I think one of the real features, other than Ricky Williams, has been the intensity of interest of the fans from Mississippi State and Texas, and it's been very colorful. Getting a little damp right now, but Chamber of Commerce doesn't mention that.
That's right. Is Ricky Williams the best you've seen play at this Cotton Bowl? And I know you've seen some games, and we'll get to that in a minute.
Well, I've seen a lot of the games here, and there have been a lot of great players, but certainly his performance today is one of the best I've ever seen.
All right, now you're going to have to clarify this story. As I get it, you first came to the Cotton Bowl as an infant. Your sister brought you through the turnstile. You say it's 61 games. She says it's 63 that you've seen. How many?
You got the numbers right. I remember 61, and I can't tell you the scores of all of them, but I've made a point to come. And my sister says, though, that we took everybody. I was the youngest of 6 children. She says the whole family went to everything. So she said I saw the first 2. I don't know.
So by choice, you had to become a Cotton Bowl fan. You really didn't have a choice.
That's right. I was inoculated with a pigskin needle.
All right, back up to Joe Buck. Thank you very much.
All right, Ron Pitts, thank you, and thank you, Lamar Hunt. Penalty flag on this play as Mitchell lost the football. Ryan O'Neal, a senior from Victoria, Texas, has checked in at quarterback, and they're already congratulating Mack Brown. And you don't congratulate him, Billy, just for this game. This has been about as good a first season as he could have ever dreamed of.
You know, you think about it, where else can you go? You come in and you take the team, you double their wins over last year, only 4 wins. You have 8 wins. You find a redshirt freshman quarterback who's going to be a great quarterback for the next 3 years for you. You get a Heisman Trophy winner at running back. You get you and your coaching staff all new contracts. It's been a phenomenal year. What else could you ask for?
So with the penalty flag, there will be another play, and with the flag, it presents a 4th and 2. So we may not be looking at the final play of the day, and Major Applewhite ought to be awfully proud. And all of those instructors through the years at those quarterback camps, his father who sent him there, who followed his career, who lived it with him, and Mack Brown, former head coach at North Carolina. There's the final snap of the day. And that will run out the clock here at the 63rd annual Southwestern Bell Cotton Bowl. The Texas Longhorns take care of the Mississippi State Bulldogs, a final of 38-11. And after a little back and forth early, this game was dominated by the Longhorns.
Well, it goes back to what we talked about. It was set up by the run by Ricky Williams. And then, of course, when the passes had to be made, when the plays had to be made, when they gathered too many men in the box, they took their shots downfield. And Applewhite, the quarterback, the young quarterback, did a sensational job of putting the ball on the money.
And even though, as we came in, Bill, talking about Ricky Williams and the fact that you can't just look at Ricky Williams, he got his day. He had a 200-yard day. But again, that balanced attack, the offense with McGarity and Cavill and help outside really opened it up for that man, Ricky Williams, who fights back tears as you watch him walk off the field with his Longhorn teammates for the last time.
It's an emotional game, and it's a great feeling for what they've done. You talk about the senior class and their last game together and everything these guys have been through, not only on the football field, but the college scene. You know, you come in together, it's all new. You're at Austin. It's a legendary school as far as football goes. You're meeting new friends. You're going to class together, and all the training camps and the things you go through, the injuries you battle through, the ups and downs, and this is it. And what a way to go out for Ricky Williams.
Let's listen in. Let's go down to Ron Pitts. Ron.
All right, Joe, I'm with the man of the hour, Mr. Ricky Williams. Ricky, of all the college records that you've broken, is there one in particular that you really wanted?
I think the all-purpose yards, because no one expected me to get it, and I never returned a kick, so I think it's great that I did it, just catching the ball and running the ball.
You always talk about your teammates and what it means to be a team player. Talk to me about what it means to win this Cotton Bowl for you and your teammates.
Well, I think it's great because it was definitely a team effort. The defense came and it held them to 11 points. Offense was a balance as usual. Major had a great game. Wayne had a great game. Kwame had the touchdown pass, and the line was great as usual.
What were you guys thinking coming out today? You just mentioned Applewhite with the touchdown passes. Throwing the ball has actually helped you more this year than a lot of people give credit to.
Well, I think Major and our receivers felt that they weren't getting the respect they deserved from Mississippi State, and they showed that we're not just a running team, but we're well-balanced, and we heard them in the air, and we heard them on the ground as well.
Before the Nebraska game, as I recall, you had a couple Danishes and a few donuts and went out and had a great day. What did you eat before this one?
Well, actually, before every game, I have about 7 Danishes, and I go and have a great game. But today, I didn't eat anything before the game.
You're not worried about your body fat, obviously.
No.
As far as the Heisman Trophy, give me your thoughts on that. A great accomplishment, obviously.
Well, I mean, like everything else, it's really a team thing. The team came out and played great, so I owe everything to the team, and they came out and did a great job. And I think today I broke the Heisman curse because I had a great game, and after I already have the trophy.
All right, Ricky, good luck to you. Thanks a lot. Let's go back up to Joe Buck.
All right, Ron Pitts, and congratulations to Ricky Williams in the house that Doak built on what would have been Doak Walker's 72nd birthday. A 200-yard day for Ricky Williams, the Heisman Trophy winner, and a victory for the Longhorns. Blitz coming. Menifee gets a hand on Ricky Williams in the backfield. Ricky breaks it out across the 15, down the middle of the field. Looking for McGarity. Caught it. Touchdown, Texas. Delayed handoff. Ricky Williams. A lot of open field. Breaking tackles. Crossing the 35. Major Applewhite to throw. That's McGarity. Breaks a tackle. Gets the first down. Looking for a second touchdown. McGarity. Touchdown, Texas. So you expect the run, and you get it with Ricky Williams. Up the middle of the fight. They'll go right back to the air. Corner of the end zone. Touchdown! Here's the option, and the pitch is behind the running back, and this will belong to Texas. A little bit better. Wyatt sacked Babineau.